Coming to you live from behind the pine curtain. This is the debut of 903 Sports. We got a full room today. Got a lot to talk about. I am your host, Cameron Brown, joined by my co-host, Hunter Shattuck, Mason Cutt, and Trent Sansom. And we got the man, Producer Pete, in the back. So, since we're all Dallas Cowboys fans except for me, I'm unfortunately a New York Jets fan. We'll talk about the Cowboys. We'll start with that and how they just exploded on Sunday and lost 21-12 to the Seattle Seahawks at home. Playoffs on the line.
Bad loss.
Horrendous loss. I mean, how bad is that? Trent, give me some thoughts on the Cowboys. Jerry Jones and Jason Garrett.
Okay.
And
Well, if one thing stands out to me, it's how bad the offense coordinator was, Scott Linehan. You have the whole stadium chanting Ezekiel Elliott's name when they're inside the 10-yard line to run the
had the
ball.
ball on the 2-yard line. They ran two pass plays. They got a holding call, got sacked.
Yeah, so now we're all of a sudden 3rd and goal from like the 20-yard line.
And then Dan Bailey misses the kick
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, and that's the end of the game.
Well, there's just a lot of offensive insufficiencies because we got inside the 30.
Well, even with that, it's not like we lost to the Seattle Seahawks 5 years ago. I mean, this is the Seattle Seahawks that are injured. This is basically the second team old Seattle Seahawks. And that's bad. At home, playoffs on the line, you got to be able to come through.
The Seahawks who got beat by 40
The week before.
40.
the week before.
40 points.
At home.
Yes.
Waxed. Todd Gurley had so much success. Zeke coming off 6-game suspension, he should have had at least 30-plus runs. He should have got the ball down in the red zone, and they failed.
Yeah.
The Seahawks had Cam Chancellor out, Richard Sherman out. They've got third-string cornerbacks playing. Their defensive line is depleted. Everyone runs all over them. And the Cowboys, I don't know how many
12
yards.
points at home.
Yeah, at home. The Cowboys' home field advantage is garbage.
But it's that too. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
They have the biggest brand, but the worst, like they have no home field
Because it's so
advantage.
expensive to get into the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the stadium's massive. It's hard to, I mean, like you hear in college football stadiums how they're right on top of the field.
Yeah.
You're not. Like, it's the opposite of right on top of the field in Jerry World. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah. I think people get blown away by all these big stadiums, but to me, I think I'd rather have a smaller stadium and have it more packed on top of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it'd be a louder environment than having such a big, glamorous stadium
Yeah,
and not be able to pack it, and
Yeah.
then you don't get the loudness either.
Because to me, the point of the whole playing at home is it's not so your fans can watch the game. You can watch the game from your couch.
Yeah.
The point of playing at home is to get the fans behind you, to get a little bit of noise, throw the away team off a little bit.
Get the players
We
fired
have
up.
none of that.
So, Mason, what do the Cowboys need to do next? Does Jason Garrett need to be fired? Do they need to clean the house? Or
You know, I saw that interview they asked Jerry Jones, and he said that it's not the right time and not good for the Cowboys to be looking for a new head coach. But in reality, I mean, I think that they have a lot of other stuff going on, but I think that shouldn't be taken off the table completely.
right?
They obviously have some problems, and they have some good talent. I mean,
They do have
obviously,
good talent.
they've taken some good teams down to the wire this year, and had some bad losses too, but they need to change somewhere.
To me, they've just been too inconsistent all year.
Mhm.
Lose by 40 to Denver, who's won 5 games.
Yeah, horrible loss.
Had a miracle win last week against Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a stretch when Zeke was playing, when they beat Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd won 3 or 4 games in a row, and they're playing really well. I was like, Dallas looks like a really good team.
Mhm.
And they've kind of
Wheels
hit it out.
Off.
Well,
Yeah.
what worries me the most is last year we have 2 rookies with Dak and Zeke go 13-3, and I'm thinking, okay, now we're set for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years of competitive football.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, I know Zeke was out for 6 games, but even when he was in, we didn't look like world beaters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just something
Well-
tells me that something's off, and I'm not as.
Well,
not
Zeke
nearly
wasn't
as
playing all
encouraged.
that great though.
yeah, Zeke's
That's,
not
that's my
playing
point,
well.
though. Like,
Yeah.
But I think the whole him being suspended, holding that suspension over his head, he wasn't focused.
Yeah, just an offbeat season.
Yeah.
Brother.
mhm.
So even though the Seahawks D didn't have all those guys, I mean they still have a good defense. And he did run for 95 yards. He should have a lot more carries. But I don't know. I just think that the whole suspension was over, as Zeke said.
I don't think it should. I'm not feeling good about it as of
Also,
right now.
what I want to add about Dan Bailey. Yes, he's a great kicker, but the guy kicked 6 field goals. I mean, that's a lot to ask for any kicker. Yeah, he missed that one short one, but I mean, you kick 6 field goals.
And he's injured. He's had groin
Yeah,
problems all
he's
year.
coming off an injury. You're bound to miss 1 or 2.
Kicker is the worst position in football
Yeah.
because you get no credit
Exactly.
for doing anything well.
Yeah.
But the moment you miss a kick,
You're done.
public enemy number 1.
Yeah.
You get no
And-
praise for doing what
And
you're supposed to
also,
do.
you're not going to win games kicking 6 field goals.
That's
Right.
right.
You got to be able to put 7 on the board.
That's right.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is, what's the deal with Dak? Did he regress this year? Is he going to be okay? Is he a franchise quarterback? What do you think, Trent?
I think he'll be all right. He's gonna be a franchise quarterback. I mean, think about it. He's a second-year guy, still a young guy. He lost his left tackle Zeke, and then he lost not the best linebacker, but one of the most important linebackers in NFL, in Sean Lee.
Yeah.
And they all three happened in
Yeah.
the same week.
Yeah.
So when that happens to you, I mean, you're gonna take a step back because now the defense.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be any
those
style.
weaknesses. Yeah,
Because he's like the general on the field, and you don't have the best left tackle in football. You don't have one of the top 2 running backs in football.
Mhm.
And so it took him 3 games to figure it out, but he got it figured out.
Mhm.
I mean, they went on a 3-game winning streak without Zeke.
I think it all depends on what you mean by a franchise quarterback. I mean,
A guy that's going to stay there for
if-
next 10
if you're
years.
talking about a guy who can give your team a playoff chance every single year, I think no doubt he'll be that guy. But he'll never be Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He'll
no.
never be the guy that's going to carry a team.
Agreed.
But if the GM, Jerry, now this is a big if, but if he does what he's supposed to do and builds a good team around him, then I think the Cowboys can win a Super Bowl while he's there.
Can he
But
be?
he's never going to do it on his own.
Can he be like a Joe Flacco and hang on to the job?
I think-
Joe Flacco's
I
for a
think-
Super Bowl.
I think
yeah.
that's what his role would be.
Also-
Like a Russell Wilson, I think, is his ceiling. I
Mhm.
think a
Right.
Russell Wilson type quarterback is Dak's ceiling.
Right.
Yeah.
Wilson's having a good year.
I agree.
He's a great
And
quarterback.
also, it's Dak's second year. I
Yeah.
mean, he's just getting his feet wet.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, just give the guy time. He'll fit right in.
And everybody, if they have, like, usually rookies that have really good rookie seasons kind of hit a little
Stride.
second year
Yes.
second-year
Stride.
slump. So, I mean, that's expected to happen.
That's just part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
But Dax, he's the best game manager, probably. I mean, he's
He's
one
a
of the
very
top,
good game
Yeah,
manager.
he's one of the top game managers in
Mhm.
football. But if you're down 17 points, he's not going to come back.
Game manager does nothing for you when you need to put up 3 touchdowns in the second half
Yeah.
just to
To
make
come
it
back, yeah.
Colin Cowherd of Fox Sports 1 had a stat the other day that said Dak Prescott, when having above average rushing yards, he's like the number 1 quarterback in the league statistically. Like,
Yeah.
he
That
has
was
the
just
most
average.
win percentage.
Yeah,
That's
average.
average. And he's got one of the best running backs in the league. And he's been suspended. The defense has been up and down. The secondary has been
Offensive line
atrocious.
wounded.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron Smith has been
Secondary's
out.
down.
Secondary's very young. They've been bad this year. Sean Lee's been hurt. In my opinion, I think for the Cowboys to fix their problem is they have to clean house with the coaching. I think the coaching is terrible. I think the play calling this week there was no excuse for that. The Cowboys outplayed Seattle every aspect of that game.
3 turnovers.
The last 10 years the Cowboys have fallen short year after year after year. But Tony Romo, I think, is a very good quarterback. I think another problem Dallas needs is Des Bryant. They've got to figure out,
I agree.
do they
These
get
guys
rid of
that
Des?
go-
What do
I
you
agree.
think, Hunter? Should the Cowboys get rid of Des
I
Bryant?
agree. I think he's nothing but a liability.
Yeah.
I think the ego of Dez and the idea of Dez is great. He's a big receiver. You know, he's got all the physical tools that you want, but the production's just not there. And I don't really know what happened to the computer right here, so we're gonna have to cut this one out. I can't get my
It's
thoughts
okay.
together.
It goes black, but it still goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay,
good.
so
What time is
what
that?
time is
8
it?
minutes, 30 seconds.
We'll keep going and we'll
What are you doing?
I will cut it out.
Time.
Okay.
Okay.
Nobody say anything for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
Yeah, no.
I think Dez is a prima donna. I think he was whining. He took himself out of the game to go sit down and pout on the sideline. And you can't. He's supposed to be a franchise player. You
Yeah.
can't have that.
Also, when he's throwing tantrums on the sideline, telling people and Dak and the offensive coordinator that he wants the ball in the playtime to, where he needs to step up and be the playmaker of the team, and he drops balls.
He fumbles
Yeah,
the ball.
if
He
you're
drops
gonna beg for
balls.
if you're gonna beg for the ball,
Yeah.
catch it.
If
Dang
you,
it.
if you want the ball in your hand and you want to lead your team, then by God, you better catch the ball
Yeah.
and not turn over the ball. I mean, that's just killing him. He's not worth his contract.
He was holding the ball out like a loaf of bread. And
Yeah.
I think it was Earl Thomas that popped
Yeah.
it out. First catch of the game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think.
Yeah.
I
Complete
think
liability.
Yep.
disappointing season
What's
for the
bad is
Cowboys.
he's a Cowboys number 1 receiver, and he's averaging his career low in yards per catch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
think So all in all, it's been a very disappointing season for the Dallas Cowboys, and I think a coaching change, or at least maybe trade Dez for some valuable assets or something like
Mhm.
that. But
But to end on a bright note, though, it's still going to be a decent season. It's
Yeah.
not like they went 3-13 or 5 and
mhm.
and the
11
NFC is
or whatever.
extremely good this year.
Yeah.
They'll go
Yeah.
9. They're going to beat the Eagles next week. Eagles want to sit everybody. They
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
I think
pushed up home
if-
field advantage.
Worst case scenario, go 8-8 and that you can live with that as a fan.
Yeah.
If that's your down year,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Right.
Especially with two of your two focal point players
Yep.
being 2-year players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with that. You know.
You could be worse, Cowboys fans. You could be Browns fans.
Or Jets fan.
Or a Jets fan.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to segue into a segment we like to call Cud's Lost Soul of the Week. And he's going to tell us about who acted a fool, who made a massive mistake this week. And take it away, Mason.
The dagger player of the week, hands down, has to be Josh Robinson, the defensive back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The prayer fake punt call for Ron Rivera. Mike Parody, 4th and 8. The punter throws it to Ed Dixon, the tight end, and Josh Robinson literally just tackles the
You
guy.
tackle it. Knock him down.
Yeah, and then it turns into a Panthers drive, get a field goal, and the final score, Bucks lose by 3.
And they
So,
got
I
and they
mean-
got 30 yards on that play.
Yeah,
when he tackled him.
30-yard penalty, over just literally the stupidest thing. The guy panicked.
Right.
I don't know if he is a rookie or whatever, but he should have been out there or something. Horrible play by Josh Robinson.
I agree, Cut. All right, so let's talk about these bowl games. So we've got Florida State playing Southern Mississippi. We've had UAB play Ohio. We've had Western Kentucky play Georgia State. I mean, I'm a diehard college football fan, and if I don't want to watch the game, I don't think anybody wants to watch the game. So I mean, I think something needs to happen. I think there needs to be less bowls. But what do you think, Hunter? What do you think they need to do?
Look at the attendance. I mean,
Yeah.
the Texas high school football games were on TV the other day, and there were 50,000 people in the stands watching a high school football game. There are no more than – I mean, I went to high school with more people that are in the stands for these bowl games. I mean, this is ridiculous. So what I think should happen is, first of all, I think you need to be 7-5 to play in a bowl. Now, I know that's unrealistic because that would cut down on a lot of bowl games, and that would take away a lot of money. But I think it's a reward to play in a bowl game. I think that should reward a good season. Going 6-6 and sometimes 5-7, that is not a good season.
How much money are these bowls actually making? Because they send all these players cleats, gloves,
That's
jackets, and then no fans show up. So how I don't understand how they're.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's no
they
telling
gotta be losing.
there's no
money.
telling how much these sponsors pay to put their names on these bowl games.
Yeah.
But if I were in their shoes, I can't imagine giving too much money after seeing the turnout of these games. I mean, they're awful. So you cut down the bowls. You make them where you have to be 7-5 to play in a bowl game. And then even if you're playing in Timbuktu, at least it's a reward to make it to a bowl game, and the fans are more likely to show up because you know what? Hey, your team did something this year. Let's go out and support them.
Rewarded season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good for the kids to get to go to a bowl. I mean, it's a big deal for kids that play at Eastern Michigan get to go to a bowl. But to an extent, I mean, I don't see how these bowls are making money because I don't know if y'all saw the South Florida Texas Tech bowl game, but there was no more than 5,000 people at that
But
game.
great football.
And it was a great
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Those are two decent football teams.
Mhm.
Power 5 school, a good mid-major school. I mean, I don't know. I agree. I think 7 wins needs to be in a bowl. I don't know. What do you think, Trent?
I was actually trying to. So I was thinking you could probably do the top 50 teams and just cut it down to 25 bowls.
Yeah.
I can
top
see
50
that.
teams playing.
I
together,
can see
right?
that.
And I'm looking at the top 50 right now, and I mean,
Who's the 50th team?
so Brown, everybody. So the 50th team's Army.
Okay.
And then
Army deserved to be in a bowl. They had a hell of a
the
season.
last 5 teams in this is Oregon, Fresno State, Arizona, Kansas State, Army. And then the people right outside the top 50 is Southern Miss, who
Tennessee, who I'm a diehard fan of, went 4-8 and beat Southern Miss with a third-string quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
No business
And then-
playing a bowl game.
but they did win 8 games.
they did win 8 games. So you got
My
That's
my
the thing.
problem with it is some of these teams win 6 or 7 games and they beat an FCS school. I think you should take out playing FCS schools entirely.
yeah, I do too.
So I think you should have 7 wins. I think you should take out playing FCS teams.
Are you meaning take them out of the schedule?
Like
or
take them out of the
just-
schedule. You shouldn't be able to play Alcorn State.
Mm-hmm.
You because some of these teams have 6 wins and they're in a bowl because they played Alcorn State or somebody like that. And I just don't think that's right. It's a waste of time. I mean, nobody wants to watch Florida State and Southern Miss. I mean, it's good for the kids to get to play in a bowl game. It's a once in a lifetime experience, but I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with what Hunter was saying is, up the ante of the requirements to get into a bowl game.
Right.
But from the business standpoint, there's a lot of money floating around out there
Right.
between that, one
Mhm.
win
Mhm.
switch, but
Yeah.
I agree with up the requirement.
If you made it, so say the Power 5 teams had to win 7 games. Well, the mid-major teams need to win 8 or 9 games.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
And the way they can get there is quit playing. And I'm not talking about Houston. I'm not talking about like the Conference USA or the American Conference, but like I'm talking about something like
Talking
Western.
about the SWAC or the MEAC.
Yeah.
Or the, I mean,
Yeah, the Mountain West. Some people like that, not scheduling Power 5 teams, actually scheduling other mid-major
Mhm.
teams.
Right.
that
Help
will
get to-
incentivize them
Yeah,
to get more wins.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
And that will actually make Power 5 teams that play cream puffs
that's good.
schedule other Power 5
That's
teams.
good.
It'd be a lot more better. I mean, it'd be a lot better for the college football fan to watch.
Tying into that, Houston had a chance to make the playoff last year. They beat Oklahoma, and they were ranked like 9th very
Yeah.
early in the season,
Yeah.
so they had a chance.
Yeah.
They have a chance. So you still have a
So-
chance.
But yeah, I agree with that. But just a random breaking news here: Des Bryant says he won't accept pay cut from Cowboys this offseason.
Cut
He's
So,
gone.
Get him out of there.
Get him out.
Yeah, he's not worth the money they're paying him.
No.
Get him
Matt,
out. I
Free
just
up the room.
thought we need to throw that in there. So let's talk about the college football playoff. And first, I want to talk about is the 14 good? Should there be a 16 playoff where the first two get a bye? Should there be 8, 16? What do you think, Hunter?
So I think the fact that there are only 4 teams is just foolish. I think there needs to be 8 teams. Now, I don't think it should go higher than that. I think because everybody says, oh, well, you're still going to always get my team should be in. I'm 9th. You know, like my team should be in. We had this one, this one. If you're 9th, that means you probably lost 2 or 3 games. Don't lose those games.
Mhm.
Right now, if you're 5th, you could potentially be a 1-loss team. Being 5th, okay, you got 1 loss. You could still make a case for being the best team in the country. But if you have 2 or 3 losses, odds are you have no business trying to compete for a national championship anyway. The 8 teams lets all of the teams that have business winning a national championship get in. It gives a chance to the teams like UCF, a team like Western Michigan last year, teams a chance to compete for the national title. If you beat every team on your schedule, you should be punished. So I think that the 8 team is a no-brainer. And you could even talk about doing like an automatic bid for a Power 5 conference title. So where they won't have any debate, there are 5 automatic bids and then 3 at-large bids. And so I think that's a great system. What do you think?
I totally agree. I think there should be 8, and then there should the top 5 be or not necessarily the top 5, I guess, but there should be automatic 5 conference championship wins. That way, nobody can really, say, oh, well, that doesn't mean anything. I'm an Alabama fan, but in Ohio State's defense, they were Big Ten champs. They beat beat Wisconsin in the championship game. But that 31-point loss to Iowa, that's a different story. But I agree with Hunter that it should be 5.
I mean, they're
automatic.
the Power 5 for a reason. If you win one of the Power 5 conference
You're in.
championships,
You're in.
then you should get in. I think that like by default, by calling it a Power 5, then you should get in.
I think you're going to disagree, so I'm going to jump in here.
I can't wait for this.
I think we should have an 18 playoff. I think the winner of the Power 5 should get in. And I think we should put 1 mid-major in there if they are undefeated. If you are undefeated as a mid-major, I think you deserve a spot. But you shouldn't have a 3-loss mid-major. Say it's a down year for mid-majors. They shouldn't be in.
What if you're Houston 2015, you have 1 loss? 1 loss.
See, that's where I'm kind of stumped.
Well, are they
Maybe
in
if
the
you
top 8? You still have a chance to be in the top 8, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Those
so
three-
let's
those three
say you
gamble
have a
spots.
great non-conference schedule. You beat 2 really good teams. You just stumble up and say your quarterback gets
Well,
hurt.
see,
you
they
have one
lost
loss.
to UConn that year.
Okay,
See, they didn't even lose to
but did they have good wins? Is my question. Like,
I don't
if
know
you
if they
still
had
have
they
a
beat
race.
Oklahoma last year first game of the
and
season.
that's 2016.
That
I'm
move.
talking about 2015 when they had the
Oh,
amazing
okay.
season.
Okay.
They beat Florida
Yeah.
State.
But if you still have a resume worthy of a top 8 team,
Yeah.
then you'd still be able to get in. So you
Exactly.
don't
You
have
wouldn't
to
have
be
to worry
undefeated to
about
get in. But at the same time, you basically do.
All right. So, to me, I mean, I do kind of agree with y'all about the 8 teams being in, but there is some negatives.
Give them to me.
Hold on, Cameron. Who would be your top 8 teams?
My
You
top
got-
8, Alabama gets in. No, I'm
Okay.
sorry, Auburn. No, who won the SEC? Sorry, Georgia won the SEC, so they're in. Pac-12, USC,
Okay.
Ohio State,
Okay.
Clemson won the ACC,
Yeah.
and what's the last one?
Big 12.
Big 12,
Big
Oklahoma.
12.
So there's your 5.
There's your 5.
UCF gets in, undefeated mid-major,
Okay.
and then you got 2 more, which would go to
Alabama.
Alabama,
Okay.
and
Then you're stuck between.
then you're stuck maybe between Wisconsin, Auburn.
Penn State.
I think Penn State's really good. I
See,
think they got
okay.
the shaft this year.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So you were just saying, talking about the top 8 teams, eliminates the whole, well, my team should have got in.
Mhm.
Cameron, I agree. I think Penn State, if you had the top 8 teams, they should get in. But number 9.
But I wouldn't raise hell if you don't get in the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about that is,
Well, it depends, because, I mean, think about it. Look, so I'm looking at from Auburn, or Ohio State has 2 losses, Auburn has 3 losses, and USC has 2 losses. And then on the outside looking in, you have Miami, which Miami should not get in.
No.
No.
But on the outside looking in, you have Penn State sitting at number 9.
So
Which to me, that's the only team that I think
Penn State's so good. They
They're
lost
so good.
a heartbreaker to Ohio State.
Yeah.
Had a layoff game the next week. Lost a game-winning field goal to Michigan State. They've smoked everybody else they play. They're a
So
good
there's
team.
already teams in there with 3 losses and 2 losses.
So if you're talking about the playoff, you're trying to determine the best team in the country.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying by going to 8, that is like 4. I don't think is guaranteed that you get the best team in the country in the top 4 resumes in the country, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying is
it doesn't really matter who's 8.
if you're the best team in the country, you will have one of the best 8 resumes in the country. There's
Right.
just no doubt about it.
You'll get
So
in.
I think that if you don't have one of the best 8 resumes, then you're not the best team in the country. And so your argument is invalid.
My thing is, Trent, I think this year, for the first time in the history of college football playoff, we have the 4 best teams in. And I don't think any other team, except for maybe Penn State, could. I don't think Ohio
Penn
State.
State's at 9.
Yeah, I
Penn
know. That's what I'm
State
saying.
has 2
But
losses,
I'm biased towards Penn State. I think those are the best 4 teams. I don't think anybody else belonged in this year. But
Well,
3 years ago, TCU, I thought TCU was the best team in the country that year. They didn't
Yeah.
get in.
that's bad.
I think maybe 2 years ago, Stanford, when they smothered Iowa, I thought they were the best team in the country that year. They were 5. They didn't get in because they were hot coming down the stretch.
Mhm.
So I think 8 teams would be good. I think we get the best team in the country. So no one, if you get left out in 8 teams, sorry.
Yeah,
I mean, it
I
shouldn't
know,
be
I agree,
three
I
games.
agree.
That's what
That's
I
fine.
agree with Hunter.
I mean, I see that point too. And I wish there was an 18 system. I would love to watch
It'd be
that.
so much fun
I'm
to
just trying
watch.
to play devil's advocate. And the other thing too, so if you make it 8 games, that means there's 3 extra games for those guys. And then you're essentially playing an NFL schedule if you win your conference championship.
Right.
That's 16
But
games.
A lot of those guys that are playing in the playoff are going to be playing in the NFL anyway.
So,
I agree.
But I mean,
But
Trent,
what
you're a competitor. Are you gonna, if you're in those kids' shoes playing for national championship, are you gonna say, you know what? Like, if you're number 7 in the country, are you gonna think, man, I'm glad I'm not playing in the playoff because that'd be an extra football game? No, you're gonna be thinking, you know what? Put me out there. I can have
yeah.
a chance. Like, I don't buy into the whole, oh, that's an extra game. We got to protect these kids. No, like, I would put my career on the line to win a national championship, and I know
agree.
you would too.
Yeah, no,
So I don't buy into that.
I agree.
I agree. But then another thing I heard on the radio the other day, they were talking about these kids' parents. I don't know how that works if the school pays for them to go to these games. But these kids' parents aren't going to be able to get to all 3 of those games.
Mhm.
You can't take off every
Mm-hmm.
3
Yeah.
Saturdays in a row like that.
I mean, I feel that playing, whatever all over the country, people
Yeah.
can't.
And,
my parents have always been
and like fan base in general. I mean, think about like, what if UCF got in there? Like their fan base isn't near as big as an Alabama, Georgia's,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
They sell out
but
their
that's
games,
not
though.
supposed to matter.
They do.
They have a good following
They do have a good following in Florida.
in Florida, right?
But
No, you're right.
If you have 3 games, well, I mean, say they win their first playoff game,
Mhm.
are they those fans going to make it to the second one? Like I'm sure they'll be able to get off and get all go to that first playoff game.
To your point, if they play in the Rose Bowl, people in California aren't going to go out to go see UCF.
I don't know. I don't think there'll ever be a Rose Bowl that doesn't sell out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
I think-
That
But
big
something
name-
like that, like, I mean, if Ohio State's playing USC in the Cotton Bowl, I'd love to go to that game. I mean, who doesn't want to watch that game? It's
Yeah.
going to be a hell of a game. But
Mhm.
well, honestly though, are we trying to make the most money, or are we trying to put the best teams in there?
Yes,
I want to put the best teams in, but the NCAA
that's-
wants to make money.
That's my thing.
Is the
That's my
problem.
thing. If we start letting the money drive who we put in the playoffs, that's not good.
Yeah.
Right.
That puts us in.
Well,
in
that's
a
the thing.
bad
That's why
spot.
TCU didn't get in.
Yep.
They had a
3
great
years ago.
team that year.
Yep.
Even though Ohio
There you
State
go.
got in the 4th and won it,
And they won it
TCU
all.
was the
TCU
best team.
TCU was the best
158, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my! I couldn't. I was losing that game. Going, oh, I couldn't believe they came back.
Baylor fan over here.
God, no.
That's
Well,
right.
we need to get on to something else. We've been agreeing a lot. Which is very rare for us. But so let's talk about the SEC. I know Trent, the biggest SEC hater in the world. Me and Mason will probably agree since I'm a Tennessee fan. He's a Bama fan. And we got 2 Big 12 homers in here. So, Trent, I'll let you start talking about the SEC. I believe the SEC is the best conference in the country. Now, I believe that the conferences are all about even this year. It's been a down year for the SEC. The SEC has 2 teams in the playoff. Auburn's a heck of a team. You agree with that? They got 3 teams in the top 10.
I agree. Those top 3 teams are good.
But
To me,
I'll
Alabama
let
still
you.
ain't beat a soul yet. Their best team they beat is number 17.
But they're Alabama, and they handled a Florida State team, which was good at the time. They handled them
Oh, God.
nicely.
They did. I get it. DeAndre Francois made that team a lot better. But if that team's really good, you don't go 6-6. That's the thing. You don't go 6-6 if that team's that
Hard to
good.
play without your starting quarterback.
Period.
I agree.
Period.
And he was that team. I mean, look at the Colts. This is NFL, but Andrew
Look
Luck
at
is
the
out.
Packers.
Yeah, look at the Packers. Your
That's
quarterback
the
has a lot to
NFL.
do with your football
I mean,
team.
I agree.
That
But
kid was
listen,
good.
He is good. He would have made them like a 9-win team. They would not have won 11-12. They would not have won the conference.
To Trent's point, I don't think they'd be ranked higher than 17. So I don't think
I
that
think
would be
they
a
would have
better
been
win.
maybe
That would not
number
be
But
15.
that's a good win. You always harp
Okay,
on they
I'll
don't.
give you that. That was a good win. But that's not some blow you out the water win.
But it's still a good win on the resume.
Yeah.
You always talk about how they only have one top 25 win. That's a good win on the resume.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mason?
The
I
way
know you're fired
The
up.
way I totally agree with Trent about the SEC playing these, very.
That's another thing. They have got to quit
They
playing
scheduled,
FCS
yeah,
teams.
they
I'm on
scheduled,
that.
they scheduled these blowout wins, which I agree with. It's not good. It's just about the money, paying those little schools and to come get up there and get just destroyed. And nobody wants to do that. And but on you got Bama and Georgia in the playoff, 2 teams from the SEC. Then you got Auburn, which yes, they've lost 3 games, but how can
Always a
you
but.
how can you blame Auburn
I agree.
for losing to playing Alabama, Georgia,
Georgia.
Yeah. all those 3 games in a row. You can't recover from that. And honestly, I didn't expect Auburn to even beat Georgia
Well, so
because they're just depleted.
here's
you
the
can't
thing,
do
though.
that. in my opinion.
Auburn's the best team in the SEC. They got holes in the
Nah,
last
I
4
don't know
games.
about that.
Listen. Alabama finally faced a good team. Got swamped. They got mollywopped. The same thing's going to happen in the Sugar Bowl. Clemson is going to beat them by 17.
Okay, so
No, they're not.
I got a good question for you.
Okay.
So Cut brought up a good point about how Alabama lost to Georgia. Well, or Auburn lost to Georgia. They beat Georgia. They earned the right to play them again and got beat.
Yeah.
So I know I've talked to Cam about this before. What do you think about conference championship games? Do you think they actually hurt you? Do you think that the conference championship, you earn your way to the conference championship just to have another chance to lose and get knocked out of playoff contention?
To me, it's all name recognition. If Alabama wasn't Alabama and that was TCU, that was their name, they would not have got in.
Well,
That's
so-
a fact. Ohio State would have got in. That is a fact.
No,
But
it's
I mean,
not.
if you look at
Alabama, I'm guarantee you.
You're putting the biggest 2 name brands in the country, Alabama and Ohio State.
That's what
So
I'm saying.
no one is favored by anybody.
Alabama, they get the whole. That's why they're Alabama. They've been a dynasty for a decade basically, and so they're basically getting privilege just because they've been great the last 9 years.
You can't use that
Their
argument because
resume is awful.
Ohio State
Their
is
resume
the
is
same.
terrible.
They're on the same platform
I'm not
as
saying
Alabama.
Ohio State should got in. I agree. Alabama had to get in. I'm just saying I don't think. I just think there's gonna be a slaughter in the Sugar Bowl. Clemson will kill Alabama.
I think Alabama's going to beat Clemson. I really do.
No, not gonna happen. But anyways, back to the original point. The SEC has five top 50 teams.
Okay.
That's 38% out of the conference.
So what's
They
everybody
have the
else?
lowest out of the Power 5 conferences. They have 5 teams in the top 50. I'm looking it up right now.
Name me the top 5.
You got Alabama, Georgia, Auburn,
LSU.
LSU, and
Mississippi State. Okay, those are 5.
Those 3.
Those-
When Nick Fitzgerald was playing for Mississippi State, those are 5 very good football teams.
I would
Very,
call
very.
Mississippi State very good.
They had Alabama
They're
down to the
solid.
wire.
They
It's,
are
that's my whole point. My
Solid
whole
team.
thing goes back to Alabama not being that great.
Mississippi State's a good home team.
Yeah.
So Iowa State. I mean, Mississippi State's Iowa State to me.
The SEC's whole argument is look how good our top 10 or our top 3 teams are because, and then look how good everybody else is because they play them close. Well, what if the top 3 teams really aren't as good as they are made out to be? Then that kind of drops the meat of the conference down a little bit too. So just because a mediocre team plays a quote unquote good team close doesn't mean the mediocre team is as good as you think they are.
Yeah. And I'm not saying there's any one great conference out there right now. I mean, to me, I don't know who you would say is number 1. Everybody is always talking about the SEC being the greatest. I don't think they've been the best conference the last 3 years.
Well, you said that the SEC has 5 top 50 teams.
Yeah, 5 top 15 teams.
How many do the other conferences have?
Big 12 has 6 out of 10, which I'm not saying. I don't think the Big 12 is the best conference by any stretch of the means. But ACC has 7, the Big 10 has 7, and Pac-12 has 6.
So
No, I'm sorry. The Pac-12 has 7. All those other conferences have
7 in the
7.
Pac-12.
Yeah, they have 7 in the Pac-12.
and so basically, the SEC has the most teams of any conference.
Well, they have 14.
And
ACC has 14.
ACC
So-
has 14. Big 10 has 14.
So nobody has more.
Nobody
but
has
yet
more.
they have the fewest teams.
a
in
few
the top 50.
teams, yeah.
But yet, hold on. You're telling me, Cam, that they are still the best conference, head and shoulders above everybody else.
No, I never said that. I said it's a down year for the SEC. I agree with that. I don't think any conference is head and shoulders better than anybody else.
Yeah.
But I do think the SEC is the best football conference.
SEC
this year.
SEC has the best teams. Like if you took the top 3 teams of any conference, they have the best 3.
Yeah.
But if you weigh in the rest of the conference, I don't know if you can say they still have the best conference because the rest of the conference is so poor.
Yeah.
Also, what I would like to add is that yes, the SEC had a very down year this year. Think of the
Down
teams.
your last 3 years.
Think about it for a second. You got Arkansas that has been very. Arkansas has been very, par with Bielema. I've said it from the start. He's not going to do nothing.
No, that was
So
an
you
awful hire.
throw out that team. Ole Miss, they're in trouble. With
Yeah,
the Saints.
they have
and
their
all
Saints
that
around.
crap.
Before they
And
did the
Hugh
legal stuff, they
Freeze.
sucked.
What I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
13,
that put them
20
down.
sucked.
Florida, South Carolina. Steve Spurrier was running that program in South Carolina, and then he retired. So then now that puts them into a spot of transition period. So
So this all goes back to my last 3 years. They have not been very good.
no, I'm just
I
saying.
wouldn't say
there's-
very
there's-
good.
And then you got Florida. They're trying to figure something out down there. They're awful. But what I'm saying is there's about 5-6 teams in there that are trying to figure out things right now that are down. They're having a down year. But in the past, like a couple of years, they have all been very good competitors.
We're not
That's
talking
what I'm
about the
saying.
past couple of years. I can go back and talk about Texas has had a down year for 8 years.
No, but that's the reason why I'm saying that the SEC is very lopsided right now. Is that those teams are
And
still
they're
down?
still, in my opinion, the best conference. And
But-
Tennessee's god awful.
They're horrible.
Florida is awful.
Yes.
Vandy.
Vandy's always awful. That's your
Yeah.
Kansas in the Big 12. They're always going to be horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Big 12 does
But
have
that-
Baylor and
that's
Kansas
my
right
thing.
now for this year.
Vandy's the only team in the SEC that's always going to be awful.
Arkansas
Tennessee's going to be back.
Kentucky's
the
never going to
last
be
5
good.
years.
But they've had a good year this year. They won 7. That's good for Kentucky.
But listen,
Yeah.
guys, we're talking about this year only. Like I told y'all the other day that before the season starts, the SEC is the scariest because of the names. Because those are big name football. Like those are Southern
Mhm.
big name football schools. But I'm talking about after the season is played and the results come out, the SEC has 5 teams in the top 50, and that's way below par. And if you take Missouri's schedule, people keep talking about Missouri being a hot team. They haven't had a win over a team that has more than 6 wins. Every team they've beaten is below 500.
I agree with you on
7-5.
Missouri.
If Texas has Missouri's schedule, they're 9-3 or 8-4.
Maybe.
Okay, let's run through
Oh,
it.
I mean,
gosh.
Texas lost to Maryland,
Here we go.
Trent. They lost to Tech.
One,
I
Maryland
mean,
had Tyrell Pickram. They're on their 5th string quarterback through the last half of the season.
I don't know.
Oh, 4th string. They got them now on 5th string.
They are on the 4th string quarterback. You're
Maryland
right.
played Texas pretty good that game.
I mean,
Maryland
they
lost.
won.
They
them.
They were
They-
really a good team.
guys,
They did.
They have. This come up later, but Maryland's going to be in the come up before too long. I'm telling you. You heard it here first. They're going to be in the come up.
They got a good football coach there. But that's off. That's beside the point.
That's beside the point. But my whole thing is why do you think they're still? What makes you think they're still the best conference?
In my opinion, they're the best conference because they put 2 teams in the college football playoff. The Big Ten has no teams.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 has no teams. The Big 12 has 1. I think we're going to find out a lot about the SEC in this playoff. If we have an all-SEC national championship, you can't tell me the SEC
You
is
got
not
to dig
the
a ditch.
No.
Yeah, it's exactly
done.
what you
You're
have to
over.
do.
I
You
said,
can't tell me
I
they're not
said
the best
all along
conference.
they're top heavy. But to me, Alabama, if their name is TCU, they're not getting in.
You're only as good as the best teams in your conference, though.
Are you the only as bad as
I'll-
the worst teams in your conference?
I'll give you this. If it is an all-SEC national championship, I don't think there's an argument against the SEC being the best team or the best conference. But
I'll
now,
give
hold
you
on.
that, but
I
it's
don't.
still down.
But the
regardless.
flip side of that is,
But we agree with you on that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying you can't say the SEC is the best conference. They ain't done anything to prove it.
so
You can say they have 2 teams.
Okay,
that-
okay. You
This is
can't
not
say
over yet.
you can't say the SEC is not the best team in the conference and then not tell me a team that is the best team in the conference. So if you tell me who do you think is the best team, best
It's
conference?
the best conference.
Yeah. You can't.
Honestly, we'll have to see after this bowl season.
We're talking about this right now.
Yeah.
We could all say that for the bowl season. That's when it gets obvious.
Well, yeah. There's obviously a winner at the end.
Here we go. Let me think about it.
so
Honestly, I couldn't tell you.
what do you think about the ACC?
I mean,
They're not
everybody's
bad.
pretty average. I
Yeah.
think the SEC is one of the worst conferences.
You think the SEC is one of the worst?
outside the Pac-12? Outside the Pac-12, I think the
There's
SEC.
no way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't pick between the ACC and the Big Ten.
I don't know, Trent.
I
I
don't
think you're a
know
little
about
off
that.
your rock
Well,
there.
in the big look, Texas Tech lost to South Florida, but South Florida took UCF into overtime, and Texas Tech's one of the worst teams in the Big 12. and they were 26 seconds away from a win.
Throwing a final point, we got to move on.
I agree. Well, I think we all agree that SEC is having a down year, and it's like Cameron said. He pointed out that no conference is head and shoulders better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it's a very more even year.
Mhm.
Okay, how about this?
That's what
If the SEC, if it's Alabama and Georgia in the final,
There's no
Then-
argument against
then
it.
I can't say anything against it.
All right, we got to move on. All right, so Trent, you know the most about recruiting out of all of us, so you need to give us some good recruiting.
Okay.
What's going on in that kind of world, and
Well,
talk to us a little about that.
according to 24/7 Sports, the top 10. I'll say the top 10 real fast. Number 1 is Georgia. Number 2 is Ohio State. Number 3 is Texas. Number 4 is Penn State. Number 5 is Alabama. They made a big surge. Alabama was outside the top 30.
They were like
before.
35 last
Yeah.
I saw. They had a big weekend.
Yeah, we've got
Um,
some hogs.
Miami's number 6. Notre Dame's number 7. Clemson's number 8. OU's 9 and Auburn's 10. But first of all, Georgia, they pulled 6 5-stars. I can't remember the last time any teams pulled that many.
Kirby Smart's doing big things over
Yeah.
there.
Are those
They got-
defensive guys or more offense or
They got it's
Middle or-
mostly offensive line.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's big for Jake.
But they got number 2 player in
That's
the
really big for
country,
Jake
that
Fromm.
Justin Fields. He's gonna be a good quarterback.
That's real big.
He's going to be really good.
Yes, watch out for Georgia.
My
Next
Texas
couple
team,
years.
they made big move after going 6-6, and after it been they've been a dumpster fire for 3 years, and they're number 3 in recruiting, which to me says a lot about Tom Herman.
I think it just
And-
says a lot about the University of Texas.
Yeah.
It does too.
Definitely.
I think so, but man, the last time we've had a top 3 recruiting class, I think it was 2010 or 2012.
That's a
maybe.
fair point.
So
That's good for them.
yeah, and we were like number 33 last year, so we made some big moves. But and then to me, so if Georgia and Clemson, out of the top 10 prospects in the country, they got 6 of them.
Wow.
So just between those 2 schools, Clemson and Georgia have killed it in my opinion. And then Baylor is sitting at number 24, which I think's really
That's
impressive.
impressive
After
for Matt
going
Rule.
1-11, and after that scandal.
Hey, next year we're hitting double-digit wins, baby. That is the year.
Not about that.
But that's impressive for them to sit at number 24. Tennessee's at 27.
Yikes.
That's the lowest they've been in since I
Very,
can
very.
remember.
Well, we had a coaching change.
Yeah.
We're going to
But-
talk about that later. I really want to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're going through a coaching change, and they had their worst season.
Ever.
Ever.
In this literally in the history of the school.
Yeah.
Let's not talk
So
about that
the
right now.
20, sitting at 27 is not bad. And then A&M, even though the gigs, I can't stand the gigs, but they're sitting at number 22 after going through a coaching change.
That's
which
pretty
is
good.
impressive.
Now, granted, that coaching change is a very, very
Yeah,
attractive.
that's
It is an attractive coach.
prestige hire.
It is, but it's always hard when you're going through a transition class like
No,
that.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But then this one last thing I want to hit on is Maryland. They're number 19 in the country. Last year they're number 18.
What's their coach's name?
DJ Durkin.
Okay.
He took over in 2016 and he brought in the number 18 recruiting class and the number 19. He was also part of the transition. He got hired in December 2nd, 2015. So he's part of the transition class in 2016. And they were number 44 then, which I don't know what they were before then.
So he's nearly.
But
double.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like the
Wow.
recruiting effort he's had in Maryland, it's been pretty impressive.
All this is you just trying to make that loss to Maryland look better.
No, I'm
That's
just saying,
exactly what he's
no,
doing.
that is not what I'm doing. I'm just saying they have some cat daddies coming.
All
That's
right.
fair. I'll
And
give
when
you
their
that.
quarterbacks
You
are
can't
hurt,
argue with the
they're
numbers.
gonna be
Yeah.
good.
All right,
Yeah,
Trent.
they could
So,
sneak some big wins in.
Trent, you like to have some very strong takes. So give me some of Trent's out of left field
All right.
takes.
We'll roll with Maryland. I'm telling you, the next 2 years, Maryland will be the 3rd best team in the Big Ten. Next 2 years, if their quarterbacks can stay healthy, guys, they after the 3rd game of the season, they're playing with a 3rd-string quarterback.
Did you say top 3 teams
No, I said in the Big Ten.
in the Big
In the
Ten?
Big Ten.
Michigan's about to be good with
Mich-
Shea
oh, yeah.
Patterson.
I'll give you that Maryland's going to be better. What of the top Big Ten teams right now drops out of the top 3 for them to move in?
So we got Penn State and Ohio State.
Penn State's gonna
Those
go
are be the
backwards.
top 2 teams.
No, Penn State's going to go backwards.
Yeah,
They're
I
losing their
agree.
core. They're going to
Penn
have a couple
State's
years
gonna
backwards.
receive.
Michigan State's coming up. D'Antonio's a great coach. The
Yeah.
rookie guy's pretty good.
DJ
Durkin
Always
is-
have a good
yeah.
defense.
I'm telling y'all.
Michigan's going to be fantastic. Ohio State's never going to be bad. They got that Tate
I know.
kid.
Oh yeah. I'm not. Ohio State will always be good. I think you can say Michigan. Ohio State or Michigan or Ohio State and Penn State. I think Maryland will be the 3rd or 4th third or fourth best team in the Big Ten.
That's and Wisconsin always
Yeah.
going to win 10, 11 games.
These are Trent's takes. I'll give it to
But
him.
listen to this though. The reason behind this is they look dang good. When Tyrell Pigram was
They
quarterback,
did. He was good.
and when Taysom Hill, who's
He was good, too.
Rivals 250 top recruit,
Okay.
and those two got hurt in the first 2 games of the season, and they had some Olger Schwartz being their quarterback. Don't even know who that is.
Bort
And
Swagger.
then Hornswoggle, then he got hurt.
Yeah.
So they're playing the last 3 or 4 games with the 4th string. If they would have had to play a game today, they would have had to call somebody off the streets because he got hurt.
Wow.
So they're decimated at quarterback.
That's valid.
And then my other I guess out of left field take. I was going to talk about Clemson cleaning up Alabama or Wisconsin cleaning up Miami, but I was thinking about it. I think the Cowboys secondary, they're all very young. They're going to be good. Chidobe Awuzie showed some flashes. Jordan Lewis showed flashes. Xavier Wood would knock your head off. You got who's their safety? Byron Jones.
Yeah.
And Anthony Brown.
So you're
Those
telling-
guys, none of those guys are they're all 3 years and below.
Mhm.
Byron Jones is 3rd year. Anthony Brown's
No.
2nd year. Everybody else is rookies.
Mhm.
So
They're all
the
rookies.
Dallas secondary, for as long as I've been watching football, has been horrible.
yes.
Yeah.
Horrible, soft, can't cover anybody. And so you're telling me that
That's
within
why
the next
that's
couple
why they
years,
reloaded.
within the next couple years,
They're gonna
the
be good.
secondary will be worth something. We can
Oh,
stop a
yeah.
nosebleed.
I think so.
They,
I mean, they're all rookies.
they have a lot of young guys. They have
I'm in.
3 of their 4. They got 2 corners that are rookies and a safety that's a rookie.
Yeah. And then
I think Jordan Lewis is gonna be
Nichols a
good.
2nd year guy, and then Byron Jones is 3-year guy. They don't have anybody with over.
They're
4
very
years
young.
experience.
I like it.
I like that. I like the
I'm
core
in.
that they have.
Yes. Give them some time, see what happens, and then
So-
change if you need to.
I guess you could say out of 2 of those, like one of them's kind of way out of left field, Maryland, and the other one's kind of it's out of left field.
It's
But
at a left
I
center.
feel like a lot of other people, if you really, it's out of left center. I feel like a lot of people, if you sit down and think about it, would agree with me.
That's fair. I'll give you that one. Maryland, I'm still iffy on. We'll wait to see what happens with that one.
We'll see where we're at in a couple of years. on
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so I think it's time to ask some random questions here. We like to harp ourselves on being very sports knowledgeable about random facts like mascots and where somebody went to college. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Mason, where'd Doug Martin go to college?
Doug Martin went to Boise State.
Attaboy.
Wow.
Yes, that's
Wow.
impressive.
You got one, Trent?
Yes. This, guys, don't laugh at me. This might be pretty easy. Where did Will Fuller go?
Will Fuller?
I'm out on that one.
Will Fuller,
I know this.
Notre Dame. He went to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Was it Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Oh, then I
He
was
killed. He absolutely bent Texas over.
Didn't he get drafted in the first round at Notre Dame?
He did.
He's,
Like
been,
number
he's
24.
played. He's played those first 5 games with Watson. He played great.
Oh,
Had
he
him
had
on
2
fantasy
touchdowns a
team.
game.
Yeah,
He's
he's
really
really
good.
great with
Oh,
Deshaun.
yeah.
You got one?
Oh yes, Cameron. Where did Willis McGahee go to college?
That's
Ooh,
Miami.
easy. That's
Miami.
easy.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Good.
Shattered his
Hey,
ACL in the bowl game, right?
Yeah, and the
The
national championship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That dadgum turf.
Yes.
All right, Hunter, you're the mascot guy.
Give it to me.
What is what's Morehead State's mascot?
Morehead State. I want to say they're the Bears, but I
No.
wouldn't swear. Are they not the Bears?
They're the
Eagles.
They're the Eagles.
Eagles, there we go,
You
there we
redeemed-
go,
you
there we
redeemed
go.
yourself.
Nice catch.
You redeemed yourself.
Morgan State's the Bears.
Morgan
That's
State's
it.
the
Okay,
Bears.
Morehead's
And
the
Murray State's the Racers.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, where did Frank Gore go to college?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Did he go to Miami?
He went to the U,
I
baby.
could see him
Wow,
in the
come
uniform.
on.
I did not see him being a Miami guy. He just doesn't strike me as
Yeah.
the U.
He's a
Did he play the national championship?
He played in 2005. So I think he played in 2003 national championship.
Okay, I got one. Where did Jay Ajayi go to college?
Oh, I know.
Where?
Boise
Boise
State.
State.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was waiting to see if y'all got
Kelly knows his Boise State
Boise's.
players.
Yeah.
it.
All right, one more, and we'll move on. Where did Terrell Owens go to college?
Was it
Oh,
like Middle
man.
Tennessee or
Yeah.
something like that?
No.
No, he went to.
Close.
That's yeah.
No, it's
Man, he
no.
Terrell Owens.
Yeah.
Like T.O.
Terrell Owens.
I don't know this one.
He didn't go to.
Give up, Trent?
So wait, Randy Moss went to Marshall, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
T.O. went to. Is it
Chattanooga.
You went Chattanooga.
Yes,
That's
let's
right.
go.
Chattanooga.
The
Let's
gold
go.
and the
Yes,
blue.
sir.
The gold and the blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's their mascot, Hunter?
The Mocs. MOCS, the Mocs.
Wow.
I'm assuming it's short for Moxons, but that's just a shot in the dark.
All right, so let's transfer over to the NFL. Let's talk about. There's all kinds of problems going on with the NFL. I think targeting is more of a college football problem, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Patriots review dilemma and the garbage call against the Steelers. They had another garbage one Sunday. I don't know if y'all saw that with Kelvin Benjamin in the end zone, but that was bad. And we'll talk about what in the world is a freaking catch in the NFL. We have no idea.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about Jesse James and the Steelers play and how in the world you messed that
So
up.
I just want to lead this off for a second by saying that is fake news. I think that is an angry Jets fan hating the Patriots and throwing out this fake news conspiracy against the Patriots.
I root for the Patriots in Super Bowl last year.
I will agree that the Jesse James play was a catch. That was a catch, but I don't think it has anything to do with the Patriots getting the benefit.
I think it's got everything to do with the Patriots.
I think it's a conspiracy.
It does because Roger Goodell doesn't. He already has Jerry Jones pissed off at him.
Does he
There's
feel
two
bad?
guys that he needs to keep happy: Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft.
You think he feels bad for Deflategate?
No, I think he's just a moron.
I think Roger Goodell's a moron.
He's a moron.
He's an idiot, but he needs to keep two guys happy: it's Kraft and Jones, Jerry Jones.
Well,
And Jerry Jones pissed, so he needs to do everything in his power to keep Kraft happy.
Yeah. Well, honestly, yes. Jesse James caught that ball. When he
I
has
agree.
it in his
I agree.
hands and his knee touches the ground, boom, plays dead right there. Then that guy touches him. He's
Well,
down
I think
right
he
there.
fumbled the ball and caught it and recovered his
Not in the
fumble.
NFL, you got to be touched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy, he touched him. I believe.
No,
He
he scored. He
He
scored.
broke
Yeah.
the, to me,
No one
that's when
touched
he broke the plane.
Mhm.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
If a running back stretching out the ball,
Yeah.
and then he
Boom.
breaks the plane and
Plays over.
fumbles,
Plays over.
plays over.
Even with that, I think, in my opinion, he obviously made a reach for the goal line. So in my mind, if you have enough possession to make a reach for the goal line,
You
that's a
caught them.
catch.
You have it.
That is a catch.
Yeah.
Now, I don't care what the rule book says, but if we go out and play in the backyard right now, and I can catch the ball and move it, then I obviously have possession, and that is
You
a
control
catch.
the ball.
That is a catch. I don't care what the rule book says.
I agree.
So the problem, my problem with this is when Des Bryant did it, he was trying to reach for the goal line. When Calvin Johnson did it, he was falling out of the back of the end zone, but he had already he just sat the ball down.
That was the worst
That's the
one.
worst
That
one.
was awful.
And Jesse James was reaching for the goal line. So
Yes.
the problem is reaching for the goal line.
Mhm.
So by the time you're reaching for the goal line, you've already made the catch.
If you,
Yes.
if you have possession enough to actually reach,
Exactly.
make the stupid football move.
Right.
Word
Yeah.
That's the
they-
worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
They've got to simplify this. It
Yeah.
has to be done. It's a joke.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just can't believe how many times they just continually over the years, all of a sudden you're watching the game and they make a call and you're looking like,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
kidding?
That shouldn't
Well,
happen.
and
It's
every-
instant, and that's why the
Yeah.
replay is there. So
Yeah.
there shouldn't be any confusion ever
No.
on a review.
Mhm.
Literally ever.
Yeah.
That's my problem with it.
With the
And-
technology now and the reviews
Yeah,
and all
I
that,
mean,
there's those plays like that they continue to mess up that you're like, how did that happen? Those shouldn't happen.
I
I
personally,
I still think Des caught it.
he
I
did
agree.
catch it.
I agree.
I'm never
I-
going to forget that.
I agree.
That was
I
wrong.
agree.
Oh, my God.
I just think the
We are
Patriots.
Cowboys fans, but yes, I do think
Yes.
he caught it.
No bias.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah. I think the Patriots have been on the good side of a lot of big calls in the last few
Yeah.
years. Just saying. But so what do you need to do? What do they need to do to finally figure out what is a catch? Because it's not a problem in college. I never see anything in
Yeah,
college.
you're
about
right.
it.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
true.
different college. You have to get 1 foot
So
down,
I've heard a
two
lot of
NFL.
people say, like on ESPN, say that just throw around the idea of having either a fan vote on a catch, but see that's too biased. So you could also do like a committee of former players, former receivers, and former defensive backs. Of like you get a minute, and the replay gets sent to this committee.
Mhm.
And then they vote whether it's a catch or not. Now, I don't know how that would work.
That's a good
That's
idea.
just a crazy idea that I've heard
Mhm.
that I think it's worth thinking about because obviously the system we have now, without something like that, without something that radical, is not working.
Right.
That's definitely not working. So I don't think I like the fan vote because there's gonna be a lot of bias, like in the
Yeah, Jesse James.
in that situation.
Oh, that'd be some bad bias.
Yeah,
I mean, that's gotta
because
be-
obviously all the Patriots fans are going to be saying he dropped it. All the Steelers fans are going to be saying he
Yeah.
caught it. So I think you go to former players, a committee of former players, both receivers and defensive backs, so there's no position bias.
I think it's a great idea.
No, that's a great idea. But here's the thing: they already did that.
When?
They had Chris
Did they
Carter. They had Chris Carter.
I thought they just talked to him about it.
They,
Yeah,
they talked to him about it. They asked him
Did
about
they
the
not
rule.
agree?
They don't have
And they said that they have to control it to the ground. Like they said that's a good rule, which I think it's.
I don't understand.
Well, given I only played high school football, but
Yeah.
me being a receiver, that pisses me off. Like
Well,
No.
honestly, though,
he's a competitor. He's making he's I mean,
He's reaching for the goal
reaching
line.
for the goal
That's
line.
what
Mhm.
has caused all these incomplete passes.
Yeah.
The guys reaching for the goal line. The worst thing I saw was an NFL executive who's over the rules officials tweeted a video of the play trying to explain it to everybody, and he said, "Big Ben Roethlisberger throws the ball over the middle, completes a pass to Jesse James,
Oh, that's
and then trying to tell me why it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah,
You just said he completed a pass.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of the discussion right there,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree.
yeah. It's a dumb thing that everybody just literally doesn't know the answer. You know, they need to figure something.
It's a big deal
solution
'cause
out.
It's caused the Steelers home field advantage because they'd have won that game. They'd have had home
You
field
see what I'm
advantage.
saying?
throughout the playoffs.
Everybody does want to answer except for the refs.
Yeah.
The
Now,
refs.
to be fair, that
Someone's
wasn't
gotta
fourth
figure it
down.
out.
That was not 0 seconds left on the clock. They could have scored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They could have.
They
Play
had a chance.
calling
They
after
had a
that.
chance.
They must have called up Scott Linehan from Dallas. And said, "Yeah, play them all."
Yeah, something
So
went
we
wrong.
can't blame the whole game on that one call. But obviously, if
Pretty
they do
big.
rule it correctly, or I guess they did rule it correctly along with the rule book, but if they call it a catch like we all know it was, then they win the game. They get home field. So I get what you're saying.
So let's move on to the games this weekend. Big playoff games. We have Jacksonville at Tennessee. Tennessee has to win that game, and they clinch the playoffs if they win. Did I say Jacksonville?
Yeah, they're
Tennessee-
playing Jackson.
Yeah, Tennessee needs to win that game to clinch the playoffs. And then we have the Chargers at home to Oakland at 3:30. They need to win that game, and they need – I'm not sure the exact scenario, but they need to win their game. And then Baltimore plays at home to Cincinnati at 3 o'clock. If they win, they're in. I know that. I think if Tennessee wins, they're in. And also another team still alive in the AFC is Buffalo. They go to Miami at 12 o'clock. And they have to win to get in. They have to have a lot of help.
Well,
I think
yeah,
they're
they
the
have to,
worst
Chargers
scenario.
lose.
I think they have to have everyone lose
Yeah.
and get in. In the NFC, there's only two teams in the wild card, right? There's Seattle who plays Arizona at 3:30.
Honestly.
Seattle, and then Atlanta plays Carolina at home. I think if Seattle wins and Atlanta loses, Seattle's in. If Atlanta wins, they're in, no matter what Seattle does. And those are the big games this weekend, I believe. Do you know any of the playoff scenarios, or?
I'm pretty sure if Chargers went out, they're in. Which I mean,
I know Baltimore because they're 9-6. If they win, they get in.
I'm pretty sure the Chargers they went out, they're in.
They're 8-7 though.
Who's the last? Who's
Tennessee's in there right now. Let me look. Tennessee's at 8-7.
They're number
They're
6.
the number 2 spot. So if they win, they're in. So the Chargers have to have Tennessee lose.
Okay.
Really?
Well, that's gonna happen. We're playing Jacksonville. Just got
They do play Jacksonville at
slaughtered by
home.
Jimmy G.
Yeah.
You think Tennessee's gonna win?
No, I think Jacksonville's come out.
Jacksonville's not
win.
playing for anything though. They can't get a first round bye.
Well, how will they may? Yeah, that's true. They may sit everybody.
I don't know. I don't know if DeMarco Murray's hurt because I was watching the game and he got helped off the field and it looked
Yeah.
like he was
He
hurt.
had
So I
MCL
don't-
sprain.
Is he out
Okay,
of the
is he
season?
playing?
They said he's probably, or he's like, I can't remember if it was
Questionable,
that. I think he's questionable.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Mariota hadn't that great a season and nothing like the last season.
Yeah,
Well, they
he's
lost 4 in a
struggling.
row?
Yeah,
Or 3
they
in a
lost 3 in a row, and they've
Yeah.
lost to the Cardinals, who are not going to play off.
Yeah.
Lost to San Francisco, who's playing good right now. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you're going to be a playoff team, you got to beat San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Jackson. No, who did they lose to last week?
It's-
Lost to the Rams
Yeah.
last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a good football
No
team.
shame in losing to the Rams. The
Yeah.
Rams are
They-
the Rams are sneaky.
I believe they had the Rams at home though, so I mean
Yeah. They have.
they've had things in their favor. They've blown it.
Rams are going to be good for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've done a heck of a job.
Jones,
Jared Goff's gonna be a good
yes.
player. But
McVay's a great coach.
how about our boy Pat Mahomes gonna get his first start on Sunday?
Is he really?
Yeah,
No
Alex,
way.
Alex
Yeah.
Smith is not
Wow.
playing this week.
Who are they playing?
They play at Denver.
Oh,
He's Texas boy Pat Mahomes.
That's
That's a
gonna
good
be awesome.
test. Denver sucks, but they still
They
got
have
a good
defense.
defense.
Very
And it's
good
hard to
defense.
play
Good
in
secondary.
late December in Denver,
Denver's
Colorado.
cold.
Yes.
Very cold.
It's a
Not
tough
your
first
typical
one.
East Texas football game.
I'm gonna tell you how
It's
it's
a
gonna
tough
go.
first one for Pat.
Mahomes will go out there and throw for 300 yards.
Against
Mhm.
Denver? I don't know about that in
If
the
you
first
go-
game.
I don't know.
Well,
Listen,
the
I'm
Broncos
going
He's got
with
that
that
East
you are.
Texan swagger to him. He can go out there
come on.
and ball out.
Problem is, I don't think Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce are going to play, so who the heck's going to throw the ball to?
I'll go out there.
He can throw the
Albert
ball.
Wilson, the
Oh,
fastest
my
guy to Walker. Oh
goodness.
my gosh!
He faster than Tyreek Hill?
Every time I watch that guy play, he is just so fast. I don't know if
Really?
he's faster than Tyreek, but every time I watch him, I just get blown away
You
by
can
that
line
guy's
up.
speed.
Deuce, resurrect Ace from the dead, and put Pete out there, and Pat Mahomes is going to throw for 300 yards.
So I'll get to my Cam's 4 safe bets of the weekend. My first one, I'm going to go with Indianapolis -4 at home to Houston. I think it's going to be Chuck Pagano's last game. I think the team really likes Chuck Pagano. I think they're going to play hard for him. And I think Jacoby Brissett's a pretty good quarterback. I think The
Yeah.
Colts roster's not very
I'd
good.
say Brissett has not been
Yeah.
that bad.
No, he's not.
He's been okay.
He's a solid back.
Houston's been horrendous. They've
Yeah.
got DeAndre
Injury
Hopkins.
depleted.
They're done.
Hopkins is a heck of a
Yeah.
receiver, but Tom Savage has been awful. He's hurt.
Worse than awful.
TJ Yates has been
They
horrendous.
put in that
The
guy-
Old Dominion.
Yeah, the Old
Henneke
Dominion
or-
undrafted quarterback.
Yeah,
in.
I think they're
I
done.
mean, they're done.
So I
yeah.
think Indianapolis wins that game. Last
I
game for
agree.
Chuck Pagano, I think they win.
I
And my
agree.
second one, I've got the Bengals plus 10. I think that's Marvin Lewis's last game. That's a lot of points given up. They go to Baltimore. Who's playing for the playoffs. I think Baltimore wins that game.
Baltimore's just not a good football team.
They're going to win that game by 7 or 8, but I don't think Baltimore's a
10
world
points is a
beater.
lot to give them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton could play well.
Maybe
Marvin
Alex
Lewis last
Collins
game.
plays good
Yeah.
running the ball. I don't know.
I mean, Baltimore's going to win, but I don't see
Yeah.
that being a 20-point, 15-point blowout.
Yeah.
And then I like Jacksonville 3+3.5 on the road to Tennessee, getting points. I think Jacksonville's 3 times the team Tennessee is.
Mhm.
I agree.
That defense is phenomenal. Leonard
Yeah.
Fournette's played great all year. Bortles has actually been
He's
decent.
hit his stride last couple.
Yeah,
games.
they've got some good young receivers. I like Jacksonville at Tennessee. And then finally, I like the Saints -7 against Tampa Bay. I think they're going to beat Tampa Bay by
Oh, yeah.
30. I think Tampa Bay's done.
It's gonna get rough.
They were on your lost soul of the week,
Oh, yeah.
Tampa Bay.
They're done.
They're a horribly coached team. They've blown so many close games. I think they're done.
Very
New Orleans.
undisciplined.
New Orleans is my pick to win the Super Bowl right now. Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, incredible running back duo.
Mhm.
Drew Brees is playing good. Their defense is actually playing good, which is surprising to me.
Yes.
But those are my cams for bets of the week. Colts -4, Bengals +10, Jags +3.5, and the Saints -7. And now let's get to our Power 5 New Year's resolutions that won't make it to February. We're going to rank 5 things every show, and we're going to do New Year's resolutions that won't make it to February. People's New Year's resolutions. So we'll start with you, Trent. You look pretty happy.
All right. Well, so I guess we'll start with number 5.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5, I think, for me, would be cleaning up the language.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make that as a resolution to start a new year, if you want to clean up your language, you start any day. You don't need to make that your New Year's resolution. I don't think that will last very long. Number 4 and number 3 kind of go hand in hand. People eating better and
Yeah.
people going to the gym. Never happens.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think people. I don't know if this would be a good one for everybody else, but people talking about how they're gonna get on social media less.
Yeah.
There's more social media platforms than ever.
And it's growing.
It's
so,
growing. Yeah. And then number 1 is people talking about leaving the drama in 2017.
Oh, my goodness.
Because people, if you're talking about leaving the drama in 2017, you're probably complaining about drama all the time.
Yeah.
You're
probably
the
causing
one. You're
that
probably
drama.
the problem.
Probably caused
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You're the sole problem right there. You probably need to take a deep look at yourself.
Yeah.
There's an old saying that says, if every room smells like crap, check your own pants.
Check
And
your
that is it
own-
right there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
my top 5.
I don't know what you got your top 5.
Okay, so mine are pretty standard. Most of mine are from experience, honestly. Number 5, read more.
Yeah.
Read more books. I guess that goes hand in hand with watching less television. Number 4, go to church more. Who wouldn't want to go to church more?
Mhm.
A lot of people, that fizzles out. Cut down on the drinking.
Yeah.
I'm talking, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to who's like, you know what, I drink too much. That's not going to happen next year. Come February, they can't remember half January because they're drunk the whole time.
Exactly.
So, and like you, Trent, number 2 and number 1 for me, eating better and working out, definitely from experience. Every year, I'm like, you know what? I think I could look really good if I really put in the effort. Come about January 17th, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Then I go back to eating cake, sitting on my butt, not doing anything.
Mason, you got a couple for us?
I have one, and it ties in with eating better. Is not people not trying to not eat at fast food places
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
as often. Which, I mean, it's not most ideal healthy food, but at the end of the day, you're driving by Chick-fil-A, you can go
can't
get a
pass
chicken
it.
sandwich. It's going to be right every time. It's
Oh.
going to be fresh. Then you got places like Whataburger. I
Mm.
mean, it just kind of sucks you in at the end of the day.
Dude, I'm hungry.
Fast
So-
food. Fast food's a,
So fast food, I think,
That's a good one.
claims everybody.
that's
in the
speaking
end.
directly to me and you too.
Yeah, it claims everybody.
So I've got 5. And my number 5, I'm gonna steal Hunter's. I think people saying they're gonna stop drinking more. People are gonna be drinking on New Year's Day, so you're already off to a
Yeah.
bad start as it is.
That's the.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's not working out. Number 4, start eating better. That's probably gonna be one of mine. That's never gonna happen. I've been trying to do it
Never.
forever. It's not happening. People are still gonna eat the junk food and
You're
fast
going to eat
food.
the Pop-Tarts.
I'm gonna eat Pop-Tarts for breakfast. I'm gonna eat double popcorn for football games. Number 3, people working out more. It's another thing that I need to do. Probably not going to happen. But this is people always. It's literally everybody's New Year's resolution. I'm going to start working out more. It doesn't happen. And this one, my top 2, I'm going directly to females. Number 2, girls saying they're getting a boyfriend in 2018. You don't know what's going to happen in 2018. Just relax and go with the flow. And number 1, people on Twitter that are saying they're going to be more positive in 2018. They're leaving the negativity in 2017. That ties into your drama
It's
thing.
about leaving that drama back there.
It's not happening. Come
It's
on,
not
people.
a chance.
Come on, Twitter females.
Especially when you know the people. These people have been negative and dramatic since
Their
the day we
whole
met them.
Exactly.
Life.
That's not going
And
to
they're
change.
the ones that complain about being.
That's not going to change just because the calendar flips over a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just not going to happen.
That's the thing. They've been negative and dramatic their whole life. And they're the people that have been complaining about having people in their life that they're going to cut out that's been negative and dramatic.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, boys. We'll segue back in. Let's segue into golf. We got two big time golfers here. Me and Hunter, Trenton and Cut. I know like to watch golf and
Recreational.
Yeah, recreationally they like to play. And Masters season is approaching. So, Hunter, I'll let you start. Give me your Masters prediction for the year. Who's winning the Masters?
2 words. Tiger Woods.
Oh, here we go.
Not
Yeah.
even
Here we
close. Big Cat is back,
Oh,
son.
no.
He is back, and he's gonna win. So, okay, no, seriously. So here's my take on Tiger. I'll give you my
Okay, yeah, let me hear your
my
time.
God's
I'd
honest
love to hear
truth
this.
on Tiger Woods. So I'm in the camp of he still is the best golfer to ever live. That guy is still there.
Okay.
He just needs a healthy back to go along with that. So I think with this last surgery, it was a different surgery he's ever had before. I think this is the answer. So I think that if you give Tiger Woods 2 full seasons on the PGA Tour healthy, where he plays his schedule that he wants to play, he won't play every week because he never has.
Mm-hmm.
But if he gets to choose his schedule for 2 straight years, he'll win again. Now, I don't know if he'll win a major because there are only 8 of them in 2 years. You got to get lucky. You got to catch some right breaks, get hot at the right time. But he will win guaranteed on the PGA Tour if he gets 2 full seasons. I wouldn't be shocked if he made a run at the Masters this year. But my actual pick for the Masters is Rory McIlroy, as much as I hate to say it.
Oh,
As much as I hate
no!
to say it. I think it's long overdue. He was battling injuries all last year. I heard him explain it. His ribs were all messed up, and so he couldn't swing properly. Even when he was playing, he couldn't swing the way he wanted, which led to bad golf. Now he's healthy. He's working on the right stuff. He's going to be ready for Augusta come 2018.
I don't think, my hot take here, I don't think Rory ever wins the Masters. I think it's going to be like
Wow!
Phil in the U.S. Open.
That is flaming.
I think
hot take
I think
right
it's
there.
in his head. I mean, that's got to be in your head. You choked away the Masters.
I don't know.
20.
I don't know, man. I think he's good. I think he's got.
He's great. He's
and
fantastic. I don't think he's a good enough putter to win the Masters. I think that's why speed shreds.
But
the
you
Masters.
don't have to be a good putter. You just have to putt well that week.
Yeah, that's
just look
true.
at Bubba Watson.
That's
Bubba
true.
Watson makes me cringe
Yeah,
to
he's a
watch him
terrible
putt.
putter.
Yeah, horrible putter. But he's got 2 green jackets because you just get hot at the right time. So you never know.
My pick to win the Masters, I'm going to be super basic here, and I'm going to pick Jordan Spieth.
I love
think
it. I love it.
He is Mr. Masters.
The man can do no wrong.
I'm
He
picking-
can walk on water as far as I'm
He's the
concerned.
best putter on the planet.
Facts.
He should have 2 green jackets. I think he's going to get a second
Hey,
one this year.
sneaky look out for Ricky. That's not sneaky.
I would love
the
Ricky.
dude's good.
I
The
love
dude is
Ricky.
really good.
He's
He
playing
is a good
fantastic.
golfer. He is ready to win a major. It's happening this year, just not sure which one. Could be the Masters.
I think he wins a major this year. I don't know about the
No
Masters.
doubt.
I like
There's not
the-
a doubt in my mind.
I like Ricky winning the British this year.
I give you that.
But
I give you that.
all right, Trent, give me. I think I know who you're going to pick to win. I don't even know if he's playing in the Masters, but give me your pick to win the Masters.
Well, if my man can get to the Masters and he has himself a good natty light before he plays, sponsored by Natty, Smiley Coffee.
Hey, he almost
Take it
won
over.
it. He almost won it.
Yes.
Was that last year?
No, 2
2
years
years
ago.
ago. He was in the
I don't
league.
know if he's. I don't know if he even
I'm
has his
almost
card.
positive he's not playing.
Yeah. I don't know
He's
either.
not exempt to the Masters right now, but I mean, you never know what can happen.
Good young
But
player.
I wouldn't hold your breath, Sansom, on that one.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. It's probably, don't take this advice here.
All right, cuz throw me out a Masters champion here.
I've only watched a couple tournaments, and I wouldn't say he's gonna win the Masters necessarily, but who has played very well the tournaments that I've seen was Ricky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good pick.
Ooh.
That's a good pick.
Is that I think he's bound to win. It's just a matter of time.
So I'm gonna
I'm gonna
go
go
ahead.
with Ricky.
I'm going to give you my Ryder Cup player to watch this year. Look out for Patrick Cantlay. The dude,
Really?
he's been hurt the last 2 years. Played 12 tournaments on the PGA Tour last year. Made all 12 cuts. Made it to the Tour Championship. That's the fewest tournaments played to make the Tour Championship since Tiger in like 2007.
I did not know that.
Look out for Patrick
We'll have to
Cantlay.
write that down.
That's
Look, it's right here. We got it recorded.
That's a
Look
stat.
out. That's my flaming hot take right there, fellas.
That's a stat there.
I like that. That's pretty good. Patrick Cantlay. All right, so speaking of who is that, Cud, give me your. This is the best segment on the show. It will be forever. Cud, give me the Cuds. Who the hell are you
Who
from
in the
yesterday?
hell is Malachi Richardson? This guy is I believe, a shooting guard, small forward player for the Sacramento Kings, who has literally 50 guards on the roster.
They do.
He played 31 minutes last night. He shot nearly 50%. Had 10 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Made both his free throws and went 50% from beyond the three-point line. And they still lost by 27 to a depleted Los Angeles Clippers team, who had Montrezl Harrell come off the bench and have 22 points and 8 boards, 3 assists in 22 minutes. Just absolute garbage play by the Sacramento Kings, and they will forever be in a hole.
That's
Front
two.
office is just awful.
That's two. Who the hell are you? Malachi
Yeah.
Richardson and Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah,
Who the
who the
hell?
hell are those guys?
Anybody know where either of those guys went to college?
I didn't know there were human
Montrezl,
beings.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville, yeah.
I literally did not know they were people until this second.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And then Malachi Richardson, do you know where he went, Cameron?
Yeah, he went to Syracuse, I'm pretty sure.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
did.
right. We were talking about that
I was
yesterday.
looking at it on my app,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played
that's
for
where he
Jimmy
went.
Hahn.
but I don't remember him from there.
Who the hell are you? Malachi Richardson. How many points did he have? 10
10
points?
points, almost 50%, 3 for 7.
Good for Malachi.
Yeah.
He's got like big, tall hair, doesn't he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell are you, Malachi Richardson? All right, so let's talk about some NBA. Cuz, you're the NBA guy, and I don't know if you got to watch. First of all, the Christmas games on Monday were really good.
Really good.
They were really good, every game.
Mm-hmm.
And the big game was the finals rematch between the Cavs and the Warriors, and I don't know if you saw, but it was like 95-92 with like 25 seconds, and LeBron was going down for a layup, and I thought he got hacked by Durant.
That wasn't just a foul. That was assault and
I mean,
battery.
I thought
Yeah.
that was a
That
clear
was-
foul.
that
There's
was-
still
yeah,
I mean, I would go to jail for something like that. And
Yeah.
KD just gets a little tap on
Yeah.
the back.
but
Yeah.
And the worst is a couple of possessions before that, LeBron was trying to drive, and KD just plain and
Yeah.
simple fouled and reached him. And he got no call, and I think LeBron made a layup or something.
LeBron gets hacked a
But-
lot.
But
He
or I think he
does.
might have hit it away or something like that. And retard Steph Van Gundy was like praising Durant for his defense,
Yeah.
which he clearly reached and fouled him. And then the next couple of possessions, that controversial, take by LeBron, where was it a foul or was it not? And the way I think it comes down to it, whether you might be a LeBron fan or a KD fan, you flip it around. We're playing in a Oracle Arena. If KD was driving and got fouled, that place would have blown up
Yeah.
trying to get a foul.
They always
Oh,
do.
So-
no.
Based off that
No.
thinking right there, I think it was a clear foul and LeBron got robbed.
So let's talk about the Warriors. I hate the Warriors.
Oh,
They are
gosh.
the worst.
Trent
ever
Trent
happened.
hates the Warriors.
Awful.
Mason
Here we
hates
go.
the Warriors, and Hunter. I don't know if I defend
I
the
think he kind of
Warriors.
likes the
I
Warriors.
think he does. I think
I'll
he's got a
pull
thing.
for him
Yeah,
just
well,
to be devil's
He's got a
advocate.
thing for Steph and Clay
I
and
think he
all
does.
those guys. So talk about the
Well,
Warriors.
fellow sharpshooter like myself, I
Yeah.
gotta respect.
I guess so. So talk
So-
about the
Right.
Warriors.
So my deal with the Warriors. Now, I know this sounds very hypocritical now. Let me take you back to 2 years ago, before Kevin Durant.
Mhm.
They had built this team
I'll
with
give you
him.
that.
They were not the typical super team, and I love that.
Yes.
I also love the 3-ball. And if you've watched me play 3-on-3, you know that.
Yes, you do.
So
Set up shop.
so I loved watching him play. I loved watching Steph Curry shoot these unbelievable shots and make everything. It was unbelievable. And then for whatever reason, the public eye flipped, and then everybody hated the Warriors the year before KD came.
Mhm.
So the first year the Warriors were good, everybody loved them. They were the talk.
Not me.
Okay? So
I hate those guys.
okay. And then, so the next year, the entire public opinion switched, and out of nowhere. And I still love watching them play. And the only reason I give you guys a hard time is because y'all hate them. The only reason y'all hate them is because Steph Curry has his mouthpiece out of his mouth.
That's not true at all.
He's
He's not even my least favorite Warrior.
No.
I get why you hate Draymond Green, and I get why you hate Kevin Durant.
and Kevin Durant cry about
Now,
every foul. They
Klay-
both got a 10.
I've never heard
in
Klay
one
Thompson
day.
say 2 words in my life.
I like
you
Klay
can't-
Thompson.
You can't hate Klay Thompson.
Yeah, but he
I do
has
like
that look
Klay
on his face, man. He
But
has
he's
that
so-
same face.
he's
just
so
makes
good.
it
He's
not
just as
shine.
bad.
The
as
Warriors
he was.
try to humiliate you. Like, they get in people's face, like, when they're on
Yeah.
the ground.
That's right.
and-
Run it up, Herman.
Nah,
Yeah.
I can't
Oh,
stand them, man.
it's
bad,
talk to me, Trent. You hate them more than I do.
Dude, KD leads. Okay, I'm a Texas fan, and KD is a Texas legend. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it is. But I'm embarrassed that he went to the University of Texas. I cannot stand that guy. It started this last year at OKC. He picked up that tough guy, whiny
Yep.
attitude at
Last
OKC
couple
the
years,
last
He's
2
the
years at
biggest
OKC.
baby.
Yeah. And it got worse because now he has Draymond Green syndrome being around him all the time.
Mhm.
He leads the league in Texas.
Both of them do. They're 1 and 2 in the league. I
That's
think
bad.
they're ahead of Boogie Cousins.
I'm pretty sure they
That's
also
bad.
Saying
Yeah,
something.
that's a
right
big
there.
problem.
Yeah, and people. I'm on Orange Woods, the Texas website, and people in here love to. They're such homers. Yeah, I get it. I'm a Texas homer, but these guys are bad. They're so brainwashed, and they're talking about remember when Kevin Durant and Boogie got into it.
Mhm.
And they're talking about what is Kevin? I mean, Boogie already has a reputation of being this NBA tough bad guy or whatever, but which I just said Kevin Durant has more picks than Boogie does. And that's bad.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that video? Boogie Cousins went to the locker room. He was going to beat Kevin
Oh
Durant's
yeah.
tail.
He was trying
Oh,
to
They
get
were trying to
I
get in their
wish
locker room. Boogie would have swallowed Durant. That's why I hate the Warriors. They're fake tough guys.
They're
That's
fake.
why I like them.
Yeah, some
Like, if you're going to be a
Boogie.
tough guy, be like
Big
the
Boog.
Pistons were. I mean, those
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are going to
Yeah.
whoop your butt.
Or be like
Warriors
Boogie.
are fake.
I like
Yeah.
Boogie. It don't bother me him being a little. I
Yeah.
mean, he can be a little much, but it don't bother me because he actually is a tough guy.
Right.
He's
Kevin
not going to
Durant,
put up
he
with
could
that crap.
flick Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic player. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I hated the way he
I
handled
think
the
that's what
situation.
gets lost in all this. Because people hate him so much, we lose the fact of how good he is. in
Oh, he's great.
basketball.
Oh,
Great
oh,
player.
oh yeah,
No-
they're
like-
all great.
But
Oh,
see,
yeah.
the flip side of that is the people that do talk about how good he is, they elevate him. He's
Right,
not better
yes.
than LeBron James.
No.
You kidding me?
No. Could
Like,
not.
take
go.
a
I
hike.
heard that take yesterday.
Oh
almost
my
died.
God! The
I
people,
almost left this.
people who think Kevin Durant is a better people who think anybody is a better basketball player than LeBron James are lost.
Lost.
Yeah.
So we'll segue into this, and I think you're going to disagree with me here, but give me your early MVP for this season, Mason.
I like the Greek Freak.
Really? I didn't think you were going to say
Whoa.
that.
Oh,
that
He's
was out of
having-
left field.
that
right
was
there.
out
You
of
know,
left field.
statistically, he's not putting up the
Oh,
scoring.
he's playing
you know.
good. He's playing really
Oh,
well.
well, I know he's playing great in all aspects, but you look at, of course, guys like Harden, Durant, Steph, LeBron. Those guys are going to put up incredible numbers, game in, game out. Milwaukee, not spotlight up, no spotlight on Milwaukee and their team. They're doing good things. Jason Kidd, he's progressed that team over the last, 2 or 3 years. And then also, Durant, he's averaging 36 without Curry.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he's putting up incredible numbers. I hate the Warriors and things like that, but I can't take away their athletic ability and the way that they're playing. They're playing great ball. But personally, I like the Greek Freak. That guy's unbelievable.
That's a good pick. I
He's
mean, he
long.
carries the Bucks. He does.
He's just unbelievable to watch. Coming up and down the floor. Incredible player.
And I'll give you a nickel if you can tell me his name. The Greek
Giannis
freak.
Antetokounmpo.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's between 4 players for right now. I think it's James Harden, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and the Greek Freak. My
Yeah.
vote is LeBron
Yes.
because I think
you can always have LeBron in there every year.
I think LeBron's the best player in the NBA.
I agree.
Every year.
Yes.
I agree you can't give him the MVP every
Yes.
year but I think this year for right now at
Yeah.
least, he should be the MVP. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's brought the Cavs out of a bad hole, and they
Yeah.
don't have a point guard. They got Jose Calderon playing point guard on
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kevin Love's playing pretty good.
player.
What?
I love Jose.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But I think LeBron's
The
playing
underdog.
great. LeBron is playing, I think he's averaging 30 a game.
Yeah.
He's such a beast. He can honestly win MVP
Yeah.
every season.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So-
He's playing great. He's
My-
36 years old.
My idea of why I think he deserves it this year is so I guess it's not fair to justify him winning MVP this year versus like previous LeBrons,
Yeah,
but he is incredible.
yeah.
That
He
is
will
a
go down
extreme
as one of the
gosh.
2 best players of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so he is having one of his best seasons, if not his best season to this point.
I think it's his best
I mean,
season.
As far as
And
the,
he's-
the way that he makes everybody better around him, I mean,
Oh,
because
he's the
anybody
best
can
guy.
put up those numbers. Like you look at Russ last year, is he the most he's not the best basketball player, I
Mhm.
don't think, but he puts up incredible numbers because he was the only player.
Mhm.
Nobody else was flourishing around him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
LeBron puts up these numbers and everybody else is a better basketball player because of him.
Mhm.
That
I
to
agree.
me, that is the most valuable player.
I think
I
the
agree.
most valuable player I think should be if you take that guy off their team,
What happens to
what
him?
happens? If you take Russell Westbrook off that Thunder team last year, they win 12 games.
Yes,
Yeah, they're all.
He was the most valuable player last year.
Yeah,
doubt
no,
about
I'm
it.
not disagreeing. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
But I think if you take LeBron off this team this year without Isaiah Thomas, they stink.
They may not make the playoffs.
No, in the
Yeah.
East,
In the East.
that's bad.
And he turns them into, if not
Turn-
the favorite, a real contender.
In the East, yeah, I think so. And to win it all, they can. And I think what's amazing about LeBron, he's what 35. He's still. I think he's still in his
He's
prime.
playing incredible basketball.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Trent, give me your early season MVP. So we agree on LeBron.
Yeah, I'm going LeBron.
You like the Greek freak?
I think you give LeBron every year.
Well,
Honestly.
yeah,
but
Yeah,
I
but you
agree.
can't
I
really
know,
do that.
I know.
though.
Yeah, you can't do
But
that.
why not?
I
you,
was,
you can, but it's
I-
never gonna
it's
happen.
never
I
gonna
don't.
happen.
If he's the best player, man, just give it to him.
Yeah,
Like,
he is.
because in theory, that tarnishes his quote
Well,
unquote legend. Like, I mean,
I tell you, but there's one year I know he should not.
I think
2
he's won it
years. He
like
should have won it last year, and he should not have won it when Steph had the unanimous.
Yeah,
That- I mean,
that's
that
true.
was insane.
Yeah,
But I think James. I mean, I don't know all the stats, but I think James Harden. Like,
He's
I know
playing
he
good.
shoots
Yeah.
free throws.
that's my
like 20
number
free throws a
2
game.
right now. I thought you were gonna pick James Harden,
No.
Mason,
But
you,
James
you
Harden,
like-
he's-
I'm biased towards him. I don't like him.
he's playing so
I mean,
good.
he's a great scorer.
But he
But
gets the
that
free throw
guy-
line.
He'll put up 50, 25 will be from the free throw.
Yeah.
though. Yeah, that is
like,
true.
Like 85% of the guys in the NBA, they shoot 25 points a game. They're gonna have probably 50
mhm.
on top, of the field goals and
Oh, yeah.
shots that they make on the side of the
For
free
sure.
throws. So yes, James Harden is a hell of a player, great athlete, but I just don't really care for him. Yes, I agree with y'all. LeBron had an incredible year. You could give him to any year, but for shake it up different, I like Giannis.
I like that.
That is.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that.
I like Giannis.
So Trent thinks the Rockets are the best team in the NBA right now. What do you think, Mason?
Fact. The record says it all.
Yeah,
I don't know. The Thunder beat them. Chris Paul didn't play, but the Thunder beat them on Christmas Monday.
The way what I don't like really about the Thunder and not the Thunder, the Rockets and the Warriors is they come out of the locker room and basically say, "We're just gonna outshoot you,"
Yeah.
and that is literally the testified, fact that that's right. Golden State lost to 20 at home to the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Went 3 for 7. No, sorry, even worse, 3 for 27 from 3. They shot bad and they got ass whooped.
Yeah.
I mean they live and die from the line. Yes, they're very good shooters, so the likelihood of having those bad nights are very
Right.
low. But also is that in the regular season, the teams are not. They're not. It's not a 7-game series.
Right.
You're playing the Rockets. Let's just say they're playing the Thunder. They're going to be playing playoff basketball. They're going to do their best to not let you get wide open ball screen threes. They're going to do a lot better defensive job than that, and that's why I don't like those two teams. But
So, which begs the question: Who
yeah,
is the best team?
well, yeah, I don't think Cleveland is because their defense.
They're
is
playing good now.
absolutely
Their defense is
atrocious.
awful.
They-
it is awful.
It pains me to watch them because they don't box out a soul.
Never.
Shoot the ball. Literally, it's like a 5th grade team.
Yeah.
You shoot the ball, everybody turns and looks, and then if the ball bounces to them, they just reach up and grab it.
Exactly.
I mean, literally, if somebody put somebody in the game and said, "I just want you to go get the rebound,"
Yeah.
they could kill them
Easily.
all day long.
Easily.
So I just hate that about the Cavs, and then the reasons I just said about the Rockets and Warriors, and then with the Thunder, they're obviously they have a lot bigger fish to fry to figure out their team.
They're catching fire though.
Yeah,
They are. They play good on Christmas.
They're playing better, and I think another thing with Carmelo, Paul George, and Westbrook, I think that I've read a couple interviews of what Melo has been saying is he seems like he's taking a back seat.
Yeah.
And is willing to make this work, whether he's putting up 10 points a game. If that's the way it's going to work for them to win and succeed, then he's fine with that. Now, Paul George, I think he's kind of had faith, and then I feel like he's kind of
Yeah.
and then he's got the contract.
I think he's gonna leave.
So he's ready. Not ready, but once this year's over, he's hitting the trail.
Yeah.
You don't think they'll try and trade him sooner?
No,
Do you think if
It'd
they
be
start?
it'd be smart to.
Do you
well,
think
it
if
would
they
be
start to
smart
think
to,
that way?
but I think
I don't think they
also,
will.
I think also why would you trade and get rid of some of your assets when there's a very good likelihood you can
That's
sign
true.
him.
That's true.
So that being said, they got their problems. My Spurs, they're playing great basketball. They had some bad losses, but the main man Kawhi
Is out.
is been playing about 20 minutes max. Once he gets in full throttle and everybody else gets playing and get used to him playing, they could be very, very good.
Mm.
But as far as somebody clear above everybody, I don't really know. Honestly,
No.
yeah. I mean, you got Golden State and Houston up top, 1 and 2 in the West.
What
But-
They're actually the
separates
exact same
Yeah.
record.
what separates the Warriors from the Rockets to me is the Warriors. Yeah, they play bad against the Nuggets, like you said, but you're
Yeah.
gonna have bad games in the regular season.
Yeah.
They play defense. Clay's the
Yes.
best defensive guard in the league. Draymond Green's the best defender in the league. I hate the Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Durant's a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
The Rockets have no defenders.
No.
Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, he's a
Eric
decent
Gordon.
defender. Yeah, Eric
I mean,
Gordon. I mean, those are shooters.
Chris Paul's a really good defender.
He's a decent defender
He's
for
a
a
really
guard.
good
Yeah. Clint
defender.
Capella's not bad.
Yeah, he's not bad interior.
But I mean, if the Rockets aren't shooting the ball good, they're going to get beat. Harden put up 50 back-to-back games and lost. I mean, they're going to try to
Yeah.
outshoot you. I mean, if you're not putting up 120 for the Rockets, you're going to lose.
Yep.
That's my problem with
I
it.
personally don't think Golden State's going to get to the finals.
I
You
think
don't
whoever,
think they get to the finals?
You've got a lot of out of left field takes today.
Yeah, I
Trent.
don't.
whoever comes out of the West will win, in my opinion.
I think that's fair. I don't think Boston's good enough. To
I don't
go
know,
out of the East.
man.
I've been watching them, Trent. I love my
My
Celtics.
thing is, if Golden State don't make it to the finals and Cleveland does, I think Cleveland's going to win.
Beat the
But
Rockets.
to me, if you're going to come out the West and win, you don't have to beat Golden State. I don't think anybody's going to beat LeBron James, but the Warriors. in a
I
seven-game
can't see
series.
Houston beating Cleveland.
I know,
No,
but I can
me
see
neither.
Houston beating the
Houston-
Warriors.
In my mind, Houston's very beatable.
Oh, yeah.
So,
See, in my
But they're
mind,
playing good this year. They are good. Chris Paul Harden's working a lot better than I thought he
oh
would.
yeah,
They're
I agree.
undefeated when they play together.
Yeah. That's true.
That's what I'm saying, man. They're so good when they play together.
That is true.
Now,
Well, no, because he played most of the game against the Lakers the other day.
yeah.
But let's move on. We got a couple more things to wrap up here. Let's do our this is gonna be my favorite segment. I think that we all do is the overrated underrated segment.
Oh,
So I got 2 sports things and then I got a bunch of random things that we think are overrated underrated. This could get interesting. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they're overrated. I think their schedule's weak to play the division with the Titans, the Texans, and the Colts. I think they're overrated. I think they'll get beat. I don't think Bortles is good enough. Now they have a good defense down there, and
Yeah,
they're in my
defense.
Cam's 4, and I think they'll beat Tennessee this week. But I don't think, and they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, and they beat the Rams or somebody the other day.
yeah. They beat the Rams 21-19.
But you
See,
gear up.
You're
man.
making my case for me. I think they're underrated.
Really?
I think they're underrated. I think they're an incredible.
Yeah.
You got a good defense. Blake Bortles is on the come up.
Ah,
Blake Bortles is playing good football right now. Leonard Fournette is incredible.
he's very good.
He is a great running back. I think maybe not this year if they're set to make a Super Bowl run, but sometime in the very near future. Because worst case scenario, Blake Bortles is your quarterback. They may try and draft a quarterback.
Yeah,
So
they have
you're
some
not-
good
they need
receivers.
to draft.
you're
quarterback,
not
yeah.
gonna get worse at quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can only get better, and I like their chances.
I think the Jags D's good.
So I think I'm gonna go with overrated. I
like
think
that.
the defense is great, and I love watching their defense to get so much better, especially with Jacksonville. Me and Cameron were talking about Mercedes Lewis. We were talking about Mercedes Lewis is the only player on the Jacksonville Jaguars team from the last playoff team. The only one guy. And that being said, is I don't think that they have necessarily like a key guy, maybe like Patrick Peterson or Larry Fitzgerald. Those guys have been on that team forever. Like they're that team. Like those are guys, you
Right.
know. So and then you got Jacksonville's offense. They don't have a stud receiver. Honestly, they don't.
They have some good receivers.
They
There.
Oh yeah, but they don't have
Some
like,
good young, but they don't have a stud.
They don't
right.
have
Allen Robinson's hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, Bortles.
Inconsistent.
He's inconsistent. Last couple weeks he's hit his stride. He's been playing good ball, but I think that that's going to flake out in time when they need to win, when they have to win.
They got dominated on Sunday by Jimmy G. And
Yes.
Niners, so what do you think, Trent?
Yeah,
I think they're overrated.
I think they're overrated.
So we,
I mean,
us three agree.
Yeah.
But I like them, and I like
Yeah,
them.
I
I'm
I would
pulling for them,
love
but
for
I
them,
just
yeah.
think that their offense will flake out.
Oh yeah. I
Jalen
would love
Ramsey,
for them to
Malik
win it
Jackson,
all.
those guys are good.
That's what
They got a good
that's
team.
what I think's going to happen.
I would love for them to win it all.
Oh yeah,
That'd be great.
that'd be awesome.
All right, so let's go to some. I got my favorite one. We'll save that one for last. Let's go with snow. We're in East Texas. We don't get any snow here.
Big underrated.
Oh gosh.
Snow is one of the
I
best
agree.
things, and especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Like I don't know about y'all, but I get kind of depressed when it's Christmas time and it's sunny and hot outside.
It
yeah.
was like 60 degrees on Christmas, wasn't it? No,
So,
no, it was pretty cold. It was pretty
Yeah.
cold.
It was decently cold, but it was
Yeah.
too sunny for my
Yeah.
liking. But I like it like when
You want a snowy
snow on
Christmas.
the ground.
White Christmas.
I need a white Christmas.
I agree. I think it's underrated. I think snow's awesome.
Snow's the best.
I think it's cool.
And we don't even get to see it.
I think it's cool because where we live,
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
Right.
But when it snows, do not get on your phone and look at Snapchat because everybody's
Oh,
got snow.
yeah.
So then that's the downside of it. But yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
So I say it's good.
I think it's so overrated.
Oh.
It's- well, for two reasons. The first reason is when we get snow in East Texas, it's ice. It's not
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah.
Number two is if it snows and it actually sticks, well, good luck doing anything outside for the next 3 days because it is slop.
We
It
can't
is
play golf when
complete-
it snows.
It's you can't play golf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but you
it's
go
complete-
sledding down a hill.
But it's complete
what?
slush.
Will snow.
No, the snow is fun for an hour,
No.
and then after that hour, it is slush.
Snow's
and
pretty cool, man.
No,
If it's cold
I'm out.
enough.
I'm out on snow.
Are we? Oh my.
All right, let's go. Let's go to something else. How about the Christmas Story 24-hour marathon? I think,
Overrated.
I think it's overrated.
That's overrated. That's too
I
much
mean-
in one movie. The movie's good. It's not great.
yeah,
It's good.
it's good. It's
I'd
not
rather
great.
see Christmas Vacation.
My mom loves that movie, but she
It's
probably
got
hates
to. I
it.
don't have a TV. It's got to go right. I ain't never heard about it. So it's
Christmas
got to be
Story
overrated.
is gotten to be cliche.
Yeah.
It was great the couple times I saw it. It's a classic movie.
Shoot your eye out.
It's
Oh.
cliche, but the movie my favorite's got to be Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah.
That movie is so funny every time.
Correction. I have seen a Christmas Story. I thought y'all called it something.
Even though you don't have a TV.
Even though I don't have a TV, well, I can pull it up on my laptop.
Yeah.
And I watch it every year, but I think it's overrated.
Let's do curly fries. I think they're extremely underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
I hate Jack in the Box, but they have dang good curly
I
fries.
think the curly fries are the best of the fast food side options,
I agree.
except for Chick-fil-A waffle fries. Those are
no, curly fries are better than waffle fries.
That's
Curly
a
fries are
whole-
good.
that's a different-
argument.
That's a
there.
different story.
Yeah.
But I'd say curly fries depends on if they're crispy or kind of.
Oh, they
mushy.
got to be crispy.
If we're
There's no
talking
such
crispy-
thing as
If
mushy
they're crispy,
fries.
Then
No
they're
good.
Then they're
Mushy
then-
fries are awful.
Yeah, then they're underrated.
Yeah.
But if they're mushy crap,
Ooh.
you can't eat one of them.
Mm-mm.
They're done. Whole batch gone.
Couldn't have said it.
So
better,
what's your
Trent.
final answer?
They're underrated. Sorry,
They're
They're
good,
underrated.
man.
Curly fries are good.
What do you think, Trent?
Well, in y'all's little debate about waffle fries and curly fries, y'all left out the best fry.
What's that?
Whataburger fries. They're the best
No.
fries. By a mile.
No.
There's nothing better. When you get them salted the right way and fresh and hot right out the, they're so good. But I do like curly fries. I
So
don't.
underrated or
I
overrated?
think they're underrated. I don't ever
I
hardly
agree.
have them,
Yeah.
but I do
I
like
agree.
them.
All right, we got two more here. New Year's as a holiday, overrated, underrated, Trent.
It depends because it depends on if I was with you guys, or if I was with some other good buddies, it'd be underrated. But oftentimes, nothing against just hanging out at the house,
Yeah.
but yeah, kind of overrated.
It just
in my
doesn't do it
opinion.
for you?
Doesn't
I'm
do
with
it.
you. I'm with you. I'm overrated.
Depends on who. I think it depends on who you're with.
It should move the needle
What
for
do you
me.
think?
I think I'm gonna go with overrated because
Really?
hell, you turn on New Year's and then you put on TV, you got some ball and this, clock winding down, and then you throw out some couple, performances by these artists.
Yeah.
It's the same thing every year.
Now, I would say if you're in New York City watching it drop,
Oh,
that
yeah.
may be a
That's-
different thing.
yes.
I bet that's a
Yeah.
blast.
That's
but
awesome.
sitting on your butt watching on TV just doesn't.
I feel like everybody's just kind of depressed because
Yep.
Christmas is over,
Oh, here
and
we
so
go.
it's like
I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to take a really hot take, and I'm going to say New Year's is underrated, and I think it's one of my favorite holidays of the year. I like New Year's a lot. I think
That's
it's cool. It's a brand new year. I know people got their New Year's
Yeah,
resolutions.
you
We
get
did that earlier.
leave the
but-
drama behind, baby.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think it's cool. It's a cool event. I think that's
and you got good college
that would
football
be in
games
my. I
on.
think that's in my. And you got the college football.
That's
playoff.
true.
That might
That's
switch
true.
it for
That's
me.
in my-
I'm going with underrated.
Now, boyfriend, join the club.
He flipped.
That's in my top 4 holidays: Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthday, New Year.
Birthday, that's not a holiday.
It's my holiday. Shoot,
I'm with Brown on that one.
birthday's a holiday, by God. All right, last one, and this one's gonna be good. Lonzo Ball.
Ooh.
Mason, you start.
I'm gonna go. Well, what are you talking about? Like, do I like?
Is he
him?
overrated or underrated? Lonzo Ball.
Oh, I'm gonna go with neither. I'm gonna say he's at like par right now. He's a rookie. He already has.
So you're saying it's too early
yes,
to tell?
I'm saying I'm not on either side of the fence because he's a rookie, and he's thrown into the spotlight with all of his crap that his dad stirred up.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've never heard him say anything like
he's pretty
outlandish
quiet,
or
yeah.
anything
Quiet,
like
yeah.
that. I think he just wants to play basketball. And yeah, he has a bad shot, but honestly, over time, that can be helped. That can be changed and like fixed.
Right.
But if you look, he might have only like 8 points, but he's gonna have 10 boards, 10 assists, maybe a couple steals. He's playing, good. He's, the Lakers, I feel like we're kind of a thrown together team.
Yeah,
But
they are.
But I think Lonzo, you just give him some time. I don't really care for him that much, but that's what I think.
I'm gonna say he's underrated. I think the kid's gonna be good. He's
Yeah.
averaging, I think maybe 11 points,
Yeah.
8 assists and 8 boards.
Yeah.
His shot's not very good, but you can improve his
Yeah.
shot. I mean, if that kid has a long career, he's got 15 years
Yeah.
to work on a shot. He's a leader. Like somebody came after him the other day, and Ingram and those other guys went corner to the
Yeah.
guy. I mean, they like him, so he's a
Yeah.
leader. I mean, I think his dad's a moron, but I think
Yes.
he's a pretty level-headed guy.
Yeah.
He's a good passer. He can rebound. He's long. He's athletic. But his shot's not very good. But I think his shot will develop over time. I think he's underrated. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. He's underrated. His court vision's insane.
His core vision's very good.
So
He makes one of the,
I
some
think
of the
you
prettiest
disagree,
passes.
Hunter, so.
it's not that I disagree.
Mhm.
I think for me to get a proper answer, I need to find out what he is currently rated to find out if he's over or underrated. Because if you talk to LeVar Ball, he is literally the best basketball player to
Yeah.
ever breathe oxygen.
Yeah.
But if you talk to people who hate him because of LeVar Ball, he's horrible.
Right.
His jump shot's awful. His court vision's mediocre. So I'll just give you what I think about him. I think he's a very good basketball player as far as basketball IQ. I guess his ball handling's okay. His passing's incredible. Court vision is incredible, and you can't teach that.
Right.
You can't. You can work on the jumper. So would I like to have him on my team? Absolutely. But do I think he's going to be a multiple-time All-Star? Maybe not. So that's my view. I don't know if that's under or overrated because I don't know what he's currently rated.
Well, his coach said he's in the gym working on a shot all the time
I
after the
love
game.
that.
So, I mean, it seems like he's got a good work
I have
ethic.
nothing against him.
I
think his father is a fool.
A lot of guys get in the NBA and they're lazy
Agreed.
and they're partying and they just fizzle out. And I think the
Agreed.
guy's got a good head on him. I think he's going to be good.
Mhm.
Let's talk about how lucky he is to be the older brother. 'Cause
Yes.
His dad has screwed the other
Yes.
two, sent him off to
Yes.
Lithuania
Yeah.
for 2
Yeah,
years.
those two guys.
He got
are
a
idiots
gift
too,
being
though.
the older brother.
Yeah.
Neither one of them be good as Lonzo.
No,
No.
they both suck.
That
Yeah,
young one's
I
supposed to be
agree.
really good, though.
Yeah, but that dude,
Yeah,
he's
I-
snowbirds.
Well, now-
and-
Cherry pick.
I lock
Yeah.
him up. Put
He
me in
scored
the
90
lock
points in the
him up.
game, never went to the other side of the
Yeah.
floor to play defense.
Oh yeah.
But so we'll finish it up. Let's get some fantasy football in here real quick. And Hunter, give me your stardom syndrome for the week.
So I'll give you one of each.
Okay.
So as you all know, I'm in the fantasy championship this week.
You
So
are.
Obviously, my opinion is far superior than anybody
Yeah,
else's.
yeah.
So I'm actually taking my own advice this week. I'm going to start Keelan Cole, receiver for
I
Jacksonville.
like that.
I think he's been playing great as of late. As you said, Allen Robinson's out. So last 4 games, got a little stat for you. Last 4 games, he's averaged 19.5 points in PPR leagues, which is obviously incredible, especially picking him up off waivers. He's not owned in a lot of leagues, so he could be a good waiver find, and you put him right in the lineup. I like him. Sit him, this is kind of obvious, but I'm sitting Des Bryant. I have him in one of my leagues. He is going straight to the bench. He hasn't caught more than 5 passes since week 11. 5 passes.
Wow.
It's not that hard to catch 5 passes.
If you're an elite receiver, yeah, you should.
Yeah. I mean, if you're the number 1 receiver on a halfway decent football team, you should catch at least 8 or 9 balls a game. He hasn't caught more than 5 since week 11.
Wow.
So for that reason, he's going strict. And they're playing in Philly, cold, Philly, late December, not passing. That's just not a good combination for me. I'm sitting him.
Wow. We're all over the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
And Des
All over.
Bryant.
Cowboys are trash.
All right. Final segment of the day, Cud. NBA DraftKings pick of the day to close it out. Give me some.
I'm gonna if you're your more expensive guys. I'm liking Porzingis and the Enes Kanter combo against
Okay.
the Chicago Bulls.
Enes Kanter.
Last 2 games, Enes Kanter's put up 55 and 60. He's getting over 30 minutes a game. He could be big. He's $6,800 and Porzingis is $8,600.
Okay.
But the last game on Christmas, Porzingis did shoot pretty bad.
Yeah, he did.
But he also had like 5 blocks. So he's still contributing, outside of his shooting. And then I also like Chris Dunn. That guy has been playing very good basketball for the Chicago Bulls. And the cheapie is Jordan Clarkson. I think that he could be very good. The last couple nights I've actually picked him for my DraftKings, and he's at like 45, I think.
Who do the Lakers play tonight?
The Lakers,
I think they play Memphis, actually.
Yeah, they do. I think they play
Memphis
the
doesn't have very
Grizzlies.
good guards.
No, yeah.
So.
So that's what I got. for my DraftKings.
Picks today.
Picks
Hopefully
of the
we'll
day.
get some good money tonight.
Yeah,
on
maybe
DraftKings.
we'll win.
$11 last night.
All right, that's 903 Sports. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time. We'll see you later.